Oh, I got a following notification on
Yeah,
June's
that's
sites.
me.
Yeah, so
Although
uh
I don't know, Joel. It's not exactly safe for me to be in bed doing anything on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure you've been in one of the calls back in the day when I would fall asleep while in a Discord
I
call.
was about to say, as long as you don't fall asleep while we're on a call, I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt that's gonna happen.
We
So
have
I'd get
nobody
woke
watching
up.
so far.
hell yeah. So what's everybody been
Just the way
up
we like
to?
it.
What?
Has anybody done anything cool lately? What have y'all been up to?
I hung out
Well,
with
I
you
was.
last night.
Played EDH with some friends. It was fun. Anawan is kind of. I saw the Anawan as a pre-con, and it's kind of nuts.
It is very good.
Yes. Yeah, very, very good. Love it. I love the mill with the side effect.
I was on Three Flings last night, so
3 flings?
What's
Three
that?
Flings. It's a D&D podcast with three tieflings that are going through the Uncaged anthologies.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh.
That sounds so dang cool.
Ugh.
It's a pun.
So,
Yeah.
yep, three flings.
Ah.
But yeah. So I'm one of the kind of rotating guest members.
Cool.
Basically the day before, just as like, yeah, Ink's computer is going in for repairs. So, could you just get? Would you be able to guess? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I'm gonna be on Three Flings for this weekend next week.
Very cool.
What time does that usually go on?
8 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Gotcha. Just in case you wanted to shill about yourself.
Three thing, three flings,
Mhm.
Yes.
I like it. It's punny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
Alright.
Yeah, it's real. And the characters are pretty cool too. My character on there is basically a fighty librarian cleric.
Okay. So,
Nice.
almost a tiefling Giles, if you would.
Ooh.
Yes. Trying to think of a good way to describe her. She is that archival librarian that's obsessed with getting to the heart of a mystery or the truth about the past. Or the truth in any situation, really.
Gotcha.
Sounds cool.
So we've got some Commanderin, we've got some Three Flings going on.
Oh, and also, as a cleric, she considers healing a waste of her time unless you're bleeding out. So.
Oh, that's good.
Is that due to
It's
the
like
domain, or is that a character choice?
it's a character choice. It's like she'll do it if it's really needed, but she will let you know that she is not happy with you, and it is a waste of her valuable time.
Let's see, so we got games, we got RPGs. Alex and I were up very late messing with stream stuff.
Oh yeah, all week I got to stay in. Well, we stayed outside of Cleveland because we weren't going to stay in Cleveland in a hotel. Screw that.
And that was just
work
for
this week for me.
yeah,
Yeah.
just
Oh yeah. I tried to take out a chunk of my finger at work last week.
Ugh.
Yeah, that was fun. I had to then run
like that.
around a bank that we were putting. That was getting ready to be open. It's not gonna be open for like 3 more weeks, but we were out there to put the security system in. So that was fun. Yeah, and while trying to rewire the front door, was trying to pull the electrical tape off the wires so that we could take them apart. It wouldn't come off, and then it did. And I smacked my hand right against they're the push doors, and we had the end cap off it. So my hand hit right against that
Oh.
end and right against the nice factory edge, which is nice
That's
and sharp.
that's rough, but hey, it's maybe a clean cut.
Yeah, I just pushed it back down and put a band-aid on it. Once I
Yeah.
found band-aids, but I was running around like blood like pouring out of my fingers.
And it was
trying
like
not to
metal?
drip anywhere on the brand new,
Oh.
floors and everything. Like, oh, I should probably keep this from getting blood everywhere.
I don't think I pretty much had school stuff, and then I spent some quality time with a certain person, getting some food and some soda, and just catching up. Yeah,
That was
that's
me.
it was
That was
you.
me.
Spoilers. It was you the whole time. Did you get up to anything else during the week besides that?
No.
No.
Aw.
I worked my day job and then did a bunch of stuff for National Coming Out Day, which is tomorrow, and then just came home and crashed for the most part. So
All right, cool. Well, I didn't want to be the only one who did very little, so yay! We got that nailed down.
It's like little but meaningful. It's meaningful.
I work retail and I'm trans. I'm exhausted all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is that a tornado siren going off in somebody else's background? Or is it in my town? Oh shit, it's in my town. Yep. I guess they're testing.
Yeah, they just test it from now and once in a while.
Yeah. I'm so unused to being up this early on Saturdays.
Yeah, what is noon?
I know. It's like a foreign concept on Saturdays. Oof. It's a distant dream.
Yeah, some of us just sleep till noon, which would have been me, but like anticipation and anxiety was like, you're up now, bucko.
Gotta do this.
Speaking of which, let's do a quick recap of a bunch of weird stuff that happened. So,
Awesome stuff. Weird, awesome stuff.
last time we were playing, we picked up some more clues on weird stuff going around in Gary, Indiana. And I believe Astrid, which is Liz's character, if you want to
Hey.
give us a quick recap about yourself.
About myself? Okay, so I am playing what is known as the pararomantic. Think basically your young adult, I would say your young adult heroine in most, your heroine in most young adult, what was it? Supernatural romances. That's what it's kind of written as. I mean, there's other, it's a genre, you know? So yeah, so basically I have a guide who is my intimate connection. Well, most likely intimate connection. And other than that, I am just really normal and just trying to figure my stuff out. Kind of dropped out of college, just living at home with my parents, have a job driving Uber, you know?
Living the American dream.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually had to I didn't drop out of college personally, but I did have to kind of dig deep with the whole, like, you know, feeling hopeless and like living at home with your parents, like after a time of your life. Yeah. So I'm playing it close with this character. But hey, I get access to a fairly new car in decent condition. So that was like a huge draw for this character.
You're like the friend that has the car.
Yes!
Yeah.
Somebody needs a car.
Yeah.
Somebody needs a car.
There's situations where you're like, yo, I need my car for the job, but you're also like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like, what else do you want to know? Like, character relationships, things like that.
No, I think that's a pretty good brief overview of what your character is and what they're doing.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, your connection or your very close friend, whatever you want to call them,
We're still trying to figure it out, okay? Like, it's
uh,
we're tentatively dating, but it's just like we're not introducing each other to our friends, stuff like that. It's
yes.
still kind of new.
So you had kind of like
Well,
a first date to go and visit Baba Yaga, like you
The
do.
best date. The best date.
Uh,
She takes me all the good places.
she's like,
Yeah, so my guide is her name is Jess. That's short for something else. And she is a fae, and she's a part of the Winter Court. So I wasn't sure like whether or not we established hierarchy in like the courts and stuff, but I kind of drew like with her I kind of drew inspiration off of, well, obviously like Dresden Files. Except, you know, instead of being like a mortal serving the court, she's actually a fae serving the court. And yeah, I don't know if we established like what the hierarchical titles even mean like in a modern court, but she does work for them in kind of an enforcer capacity, I'd imagine. I said knight originally, but it's like thinking on it, it's just like, well, there could be a lot of different knights. And what is a knight in these days?
yeah, we will definitely figure out what kind of bridge that is when we come to it.
Exactly. So yeah, she works in kind of a oh, what did I say? Yeah, she kind of works like yeah, she works for the Winter Court. And we haven't figured out much about her beyond that because I kind of wanted her to grow organically as a character.
And
Yes,
so,
and for her actually not to be like a major focus because this is all about like it's not really the stuff with the pararomantic. The guy, if you read on it, the guide, like yeah, the guide is a focus and the relationship's important, but then there's stuff like having to do with it that takes away from the investigation, like bonding time. So I think the guide is supposed to be kind of like an adjacent thing to the oh god, I forget, are we called hunters or investigators? Hunters.
yeah, definitely. All of that stuff we will surely explore. But yeah, your first date was to go hang out with Baba Yaga and look into
Charming old woman.
some weird stuff that's been going on. Some poor guy got killed. There was some weird creature that had a feather. So you're just following up on some clues.
Mhm.
And eventually you decided to join up with the rest of your crew to look into this hunter that had died. Where we jump to, if Thomas wasn't there, I'd probably call it Chaos Crew. But I would say these people are partially led by Valraven.
Yes.
So if you want to give a brief description of who Valraven is.
Oh, Valraven. Valraven would probably be a bit offended if somebody called him the leader of this group, but he does seem to have fallen into that position.
You just don't
Valra-
become the overnight.
Valraven is the crooked of the group, meaning he is the one with all of the underworld contracts and is familiar with shady dealings. And furthermore, he's a charlatan. So anytime a situation comes up where he can talk his way out of it, that is what he's doing. So last time I remember in order to get a car to go to where the hunters encountered the feather and this bird, he decided to get a bellhop uniform and just, you know, help himself to a car at a
Yes.
hotel.
Because there's only the one car between the four of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Valraven does have a vehicle, it's just it would not have been appropriate to take to the woods.
Yeah, it's the rules of takesy backsies. You borrowed it, you may have neglected to put gas in it, and you just returned it, or
Mhm.
or rather, Thomas returned it. Um,
Yeah, it's like Valraven does try to top it off with gas if he does borrow a vehicle, but he had other concerns.
that's fair. Which we'll get to that. Um, so speaking of Thomas, you had to cut out a little early last time, but we basically said you
Yeah.
dropped off the car. But who is Thomas? What is Thomas?
Thomas is.
Besides being a real life depiction of yourself.
Well, besides that, he is the weird, which means I have spooky spirit powers.
And
Or it's the spooky. That's right.
you have
Not the
like
weird,
weird
spooky.
payments to do spooky stuff.
Yeah.
Very like darker than black ish.
Yeah. I'm kind of like a contractor from Darker Than Black, in a way. That is actually the best way to describe it, Joel.
And
I'm surprised I didn't think of that.
and what's your side gig when you're not out?
Oh yeah, I'm just a standalone little private investigator on the side.
Just a normal private investigator, huh?
Yep, just using spirits to solve crap.
Nice.
Gotcha.
Because that's what all private investigators do.
Yeah, they get out their Ouija boards and talk to people.
It's like a mix of Darker Than Black and Psych.
And psych.
Yeah.
Which then leaves us our
I'm sorry, trying to imagine psych with spirits. And it's just like that would be pure chaos.
oh no.
No.
So then we've got the last person in the group, Omina. Who is Omina?
Omina is the monstrous, which means she's half human, half, in this instance, werecat, and 100% chaos. Yeah, Omina's been banned from every Denny's in the country, which means by proxy we've all been banned from every Denny's in the country for reasons I'm not allowed to talk about until the court case is settled.
Per your lawyer.
But yeah, basically just like addicted to sugar and not super great at sitting still for long intervals of time. And very much the personification of what happens if, and then just does things.
So if I recall from last time, we had our date with Baba Yaga. She was third wheeling. We had the Chaos crew pick up a car to go and meet in the woods to investigate what happened to this hunter, to learn something about the birds. And then you guys all met up with a friend clad in black, with his best friend the horse, who wanted to kill you for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Who'd have thunk?
Almost forgot about that.
But
Yeah.
I did that.
but during this chaos, you also got a pet, which is like RPG rule number 1: don't give your players a pet. But here we are.
Yeah, we broke that session 2.
But the group got split. One group was being investigated by a police officer who kept an eye on the crime scene. The other group tried to hide and encountered some shape-shifting wolf people who
Some
you were-
naturalists.
you were lucky enough to be let go. And I think naturalist is a good way to put it. But they kindly let you go, if not for taking a prized Waffle House shirt, and I believe Ash had lost one of her weapons. But you didn't get hurt. You got to go scot-free. And then you tried to explain to an officer what LARPing was.
Uh-huh.
And I believe we ended with Thomas returning the car and the three of you trying to take care of some mythical bird creature that died into a pile of ash and is slowly regrowing. I think that's most of it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Astrid and I had just gotten back to the house with a large bag of bird seed.
Yeah, because it's a bird. It eats
Birds.
seed, right? Right? Unless
Yeah,
it's unless it's some sort of bird of prey, then.
So I think we'll jump back in that conversation with you saying it eats bird seed, right? Because as you guys walked in, there's like a little bit of drool in the corner of Val Raven's mouth as he's like sitting on the couch cradling this bird. And when the door opens up, you kind of like sit back up, and you say, "It eats bird seed, right?"
I am unsure, but I am glad. I believe it must eat. If it eats something, birdseed would seem like a logical choice. And kind of still a little bit bleary-eyed, trying not to show it, looking around. It's like, oh yes, I was creating a nest on the couch. Yes.
A nest. Okay, so all right, Val, just where's your scissors? I need to open this bag up. I'm not ripping it open, and it goes everywhere on your floor.
I got it. I got it, and I'll just pop a claw real quick and cut along the top.
Thanks, Omina.
Uh,
All right, so like, do we just sprinkle it on the ground a bit and have it peck? Is it like a chicken?
when you ask that question, you see the bird still kind of like curled up. But besides the slight jostle, it appears to like just be that cat ball shape in the crook of your arm, where it just like it just kind of curled up like a snake almost, and hasn't really shown any indication of addressing the other people here. Which reminds me, so Thomas is dropping off the car. Does he just like drop off the car and then like, I need an Uber, like, or does he just walk home? Because I feel like we might have put him on an island.
Yeah.
Thomas was alone.
Well, it is
That's
within walking distance to Valraven's place, since that's how we got there.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we didn't drive over there in Val Raven's car.
so
Yeah, no.
So after you drop off the car, you begin to
Yeah.
walk back.
to
Okay.
Val Raven's.
Yeah. So what's the plan for this bird? Does it have a living space? Does it get its own bowl?
Well, right now has made a nest of blankets that are mostly Omina's on the couch. And I believe we established that the bird was interested in Valraven's vest, in particular inside of it. And Valraven did place the feather in the nest of blankets with the bird.
Yeah, I believe it had like touched the feather and it like started to glow and it reconstituted the feather into itself. And it grew just slightly.
Well, that's $50 down
Yeah.
the drain, but it looks like you need it, little guy. Girl.
Growing
And then
herb.
this was
How
like
do we tell if a bird is a girl or a guy?
Plumage.
Wait, if it's really colorful and showing off a whole bunch, it's gonna be a dude.
Well, that feather was especially colorful.
I mean, does this
But do we
does,
have
do
anything?
the rolls of like
We don't have another one to base it off of.
do those rules even apply to mythical creatures like this?
so
I think I shall stick with they for now then.
That's a good idea. They.
So looking at the bird, its plumage hasn't like fully filled in, so that's kind of like a meh. and then also it's bright and shiny because it's a mythical creature. So it's kind of rough to tell.
Oh man.
But if I do recall, this was like pushing later into the night because as night fell, there was much
We were
panic.
trying not to die.
Yeah, trying not to die.
Yeah.
So were there any extra plans as far as things you wanted to accomplish before sleeping?
Good question.
I think
Does
sleeping
anyone
was
want to
the
use the
next thing.
payphone?
Payphone.
You know what? I don't think Jess will take my calls for now, so no. I sprinkle some feet on the floor in front of the bird.
Before you do that, Valraven will get a bowl from the kitchen, and
That you guys sprinkle birdseed on his floor.
This is the table and coaster conundrum. Like,
Yeah, like no. It'll peck at the floor. Is the floor like carpeted or is it natural wood or vinyl?
I'd say in the area that we're in right now, probably wood.
Okay, yeah, that might create some dents or scratches and stuff. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't do that. I'll wait till you bring the bowl. But okay, I make a motion like I'm going to, so you can get the hint that maybe
Uh-huh.
you should
Oh,
get a bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. This would be a better option.
Oh, okay. And I will fill up the bowl a lot because how much do birds eat? And place it in front of the bird.
okay. The bird, as far as any actions it's making, it's just very sleepy. But you could find out the next day what happens with that feed. I want to jump to Thomas real quick,
Yeah.
just to fill in some time here. So, like, I guess, how long of a walk is it from Valraven's place to the hotel?
Um, Probably not a short walk. Well, not a terribly short walk. Maybe 20 minutes.
Okay. So in that 20 minutes on your walk back rather,
I don't like the ton of voice.
Mm-hmm.
so as you're walking back and things are getting later into the night, there are a couple of people camped out on the street, as there is in any type of large city, and you're not sure if it's part of your hallucinations or part of your character and spirituality, so to speak. But you're pretty confident. You do like a quick double take of like one of the people camping out on the street. I think it maybe catches your corner of the eye for a second. You're like, is that that?
Is it the old lady?
Is that the old lady? And then you like look closer, and it's not. But it's like it's that walking down the street at night. Is that weird? And now you have this like dread in the back of your mind of like, I almost died in the woods, but also, was that the old lady? And then you just keep walking. And as you round the last corner to get to Valraven's place, you do notice a spiritual presence like standing at the door as it like wisps away, and then you reach up to the door to open it, knock on it, whatever it is.
Is it cold?
It's a little cold, and you see that Thomas is back as he walks through the door.
Yeah, Valraven's on the couch beside the bird and doesn't show any indications of moving.
Yeah, you see the bird is slightly larger than you last recall. It's in this pile of blankets. There's like a bowl of bird seed. Everybody's just a little confused and groggy from running around at night, spikes of adrenaline, emotional conversations in cars. So, is there any plans for the rest of the night?
Well, I was gonna stop by the Waffle House and pick up a new shirt for Omina.
Okay. Were you planning on bringing it back, or I guess what is the plan now that this has happened?
Well, she was really upset about the shirt. I was just gonna pick her up a new one and bring it to her the next time I saw her.
Okay. But as far as the group, like, what's your plan now that this has happened? What's that conversation like?
Hmm.
Because I imagine there's all this has happened. Like, what do we do now?
Oh, okay. What
we
is
should
the
go to
plan?
bed.
I mean, obviously the bird stays with Val. I mean,
Yes.
will it be safe with Val?
I believe as safe as it can be.
Okay.
Is anyone safe
I
with
mean,
Val?
and
That's the
obviously,
larger question.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
not completely untrue, but that is unfair.
I'm aware, but also you let me crash in your house, so like, poor judgment is a thing.
Hmm.
Well, I can't take it home. What about Thomas?
That is a good question. Well, I guess as I walk in, I get
Val now looks offended and is determined to take care of this bird.
But hey, Val, while I was walking back, I think I saw that old lady again, like at your front door.
The old lady. The chilly one?
Yeah, the chilly one. The chilly one.
Hmm.
Kind of whisked away when I rounded the corner, and the door was cold. So thought you might like to know.
That is troubling. Is she following me? Can I?
I'm not sure if she's following you or if she's following the bird.
It's like,
So-
can
Go on.
I was about to say, can I make some sort of investigative check on this? Because somebody's followed me home.
Yeah, you can investigate a mystery if you want, and
Yeah.
roll plus sharp.
'Cause- Roll plus sharp. Doo-doo. Alright, 2 dice plus sharp. That would be a 9.
All right, so 9 gets you 1. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? Or what is it? What was it going to do? Yeah. Or what is being concealed here?
Okay.
And the answer might be a little weird because it's kind of like Thomas shares this info, so I'm not sure how it is. Like, I guess, how are you investigating this besides just the info being shared?
I'm thinking that Valraven would either go through his memory, see if he can remember feelings of being followed. Even if he can't see this old lady, just kind of trying to get a gauge on whether or not someone's been watching him, and what its intentions are. So basically, a what was it going to do thing. Is it just following? Does it plan on attacking? That sort of thing.
It looks like based on you're thinking about where you went, where you've been. Nobody followed you. Nothing really connects you to any interests it might have. Uh, so as far as what it was going to do, it looks like it's following or investigating. There's no indications of maybe there was violent intentions. It doesn't look anything like that. It just seems to be whatever it is, biding its time, watching, learning. You're just not sure who. Because if I think you can eliminate Thomas because he was not at the house.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be one of you three. It could be the bird. But as far as you're concerned, you're pretty sure it's not Thomas. And other than your brief connection with it, you're not exactly sure on that. You just know it was there, gleaning information, watching.
Okay. Well, it's not following Thomas, but it looks like it's following or investigating someone else in this room. So just be aware, and if you feel like you're being watched, just make a note of it and we'll try and see who or what is following.
I didn't tell them about Baba Yaga, did I?
It only came up during the craziness. I believe there was who are these wolves and why, to which you answered but didn't quite explain.
Yeah, and the only one who
Oh yeah,
heard
because
that
I
was
had
Almina.
fallen and hit my head really hard.
Bad.
Yeah.
So okay,
Yeah,
so
no,
from what
Almina
you
was
described
just
as the woman that you saw, can I assume that it's Baba Yaga, or I'm sorry, that Val saw, that he saw, no, Thomas saw. Can I assume that it's Baba Yaga, or that it's Elvana?
Based on the description,
Mm-hmm.
that would be kind of difficult because I don't know if I gave you information on what Elvana looks like.
Yeah.
But like a straight snap judgment, like you're not sure if it's Baba Yaga. Also, she can you know that she tends to change her shape a lot.
Mm.
So
Okay.
Without I don't want to make you roll because you went through that whole thing, but I don't think I can give you an answer.
Okay.
You're not
No,
sure
this
because
works. This actually works. Okay,
'cause-
so I pipe up.
Baba Yaga is a
So-
shapeshifter. Elvana's her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of different shapes could be made.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't have a chance to tell you guys, but before we met up, my contact and I went into a different part of the woods, and we met a very creepy old lady who turned out to be Baba Yaga. You know, from the Russian folklores.
Well, that
And
was unexpected.
She gave us some really good information for what was exchanged to her. But this woman that you're describing, it could be Baba Yaga, or it could be this other woman, Elvana, who is her daughter. And this sorry, this is me going on my notes from last time. And it sounds like maybe Baba Yaga is trying to stop Elvana. So I don't have any more information, unfortunately, but I can maybe give you a name to a face. It's one of those two. Or it could be one of those two.
And Elvana was that is the person that we've been researching, though, the person who's trying to come into power and bring winter.
I believe so.
Winter Queen.
I believe so. Yeah. Was it Winter Queen or Queen of Witches or something like that?
Both actually.
I believe it was both.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Huh.
So I mean, whatever it is, the Firebird, like she comes back every 100 years or so. But this Firebird, this bird here, this is a new development. This has not happened before when she's come back. So I don't know what it means, and I don't know what she wants with it. If it is Elvana or Baba Yaga, but obviously, they want this bird.
Well, considering the fire, it might be them trying to tip the balance in a sort of elemental way. A strong force of winter versus a force of heat and fire.
Could
It's
be.
just a guess.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on.
But in either case, I am very glad we came across the bird before more harm could befall it.
Well, I mean, it kind of paints a target on your back.
Oh, that's nothing new.
I was gonna say,
There are
doesn't Raven
several.
already have like
Yeah.
5 or 6 targets on its back?
So wait, let me get this straight. Before you met up with us, you went on a date?
I mean, I wouldn't call it a date, but we went to see my contact and I
Your
went to see
contact.
Bob.
You went
to see
on
Baba
a
Yaga.
date.
Oh,
I
no,
did
here
not
we
go on a date. Omina, I did not. It was not a date. It was so very not a date. There wasn't dinner involved. Okay, there was dinner, but I didn't partake because
It's like,
you know what?
well-
I don't want to go in it. I don't want to go into it, okay? I kind of want to forget about that part. I just kind of want to forget about that part of my afternoon, okay? It wasn't a date. It's kind of, I can't meet Omina's eyes. I just kind of look away.
I'm going to bed. And Omina's bedroom door shuts, and then like 30 seconds later, the bedroom window opens.
Mm. Well, that went well.
Well, look, I told you what I found out. I'm just I'm just gonna go home.
Although I'm very glad to hear that you did not have dinner at Baba Yaga's.
Yeah, it was very much discouraged to partake in anything offered.
It's
There were-
from what I heard, it can be hazardous to your health.
yeah, there were children bones involved. I just don't want to think about that.
Yep, there've been rumors.
Yeah.
Confirm.
I guess it's the price of doing business with her, unfortunately. But I was informed that they were sustainably
Sustainably sourced children's bones.
yes, sustainably sourced children bones.
What do they say about coffee? Is that like responsibly sourced?
I don't want to think about it.
Best not think about that too
the
hard.
excuse
Yes.
Yeah, the excuse I was given still doesn't satisfy me, and I think my contact and I will probably not be talking for a while.
Yes. Well. In any case, it has been a long day.
Yes.
Trying
See
to
you
think
tomorrow.
if
I head towards the door.
It is kind of late. If you want to sleep here before leaving tomorrow.
You know what? No, I think I just want to get to my. I think I just want to get to bed. I have some other stuff. Yeah, something else I want to do before I go. So, yeah, I'm just gonna leave. Good luck with the bird. Tell me if he eats.
Safe travels.
Thanks.
Does Thomas
I,
need to
your
like
mechanic, will
hitch a
take you
ride?
up on that offer.
Because
What
I
was
don't I don't know how far away Thomas lives in relation to things, but he might need a ride.
Oh, I was just gonna take Valraven up on the offer to stay.
There you go.
Yep.
So everyone heads their separate ways, whether it's out a window or into their car. So during the night, I am kind of curious. So who has guns? Valraven has a couple guns.
I have a
Yeah,
bow.
Valraven has a revolver and a hunting rifle, which is probably he's probably moved from its position, and he's probably taken up residence on the couch at this point. Probably offered his bed to Thomas because he's like, I'm sleeping out here.
Where do you keep your spare ammunition?
Oh, good question. He probably has a lockbox. Trying to think. Probably a lockbox in one of the closets.
A lockbox? How?
Uh,
Like, is it just like a padlock, or are we talking like a floor safe?
you know, he would have some sort of gun safe.
Okay. Uh,
I mean, Omina is in his house.
okay. So
He
you
has a
have
gun safe.
it's a safe and it's locked. Then I assume.
Yes.
Okay. And so, do you have both guns on you?
At this point, yes. He's basically asleep on the couch opposite the bird.
Because
Um,
this is all
is
leading
probably facing the door.
This is all leading up to a very silly situation. Did you take any spare ammunition out of the safe? Like, if you have a box of spare ammunition with you?
Yeah, he'd be preparing for a siege at this point. He knows he's been followed home by someone, and just kind of is in overprotective mode.
Okay, perfect. All of that silly setup for what I was gonna do.
Yeah, I know. It's probably something that does not need this much.
Yeah.
He's
so-
paranoid.
Yeah. So in the middle of the night, you were woken up by the sounds of clinking metal, which is the ammunition falling to the ground, and also like squealing metallic crunches as you see this bird ripping open the bullets to consume the powder within.
Oh,
You also see next to it is the bowl of seed has been knocked over. And this little bird is just like eating the gunpowder. It's like cracking open the bullets and like eating the gunpowder. But like you wake up in the night and you're like, what's
What the? Oh.
So at the very least, you kind of have a slight indication of what it likes to eat.
Mhm.
Uh,
All right. In that case, I have more ammo. I'm going to wait and see if the bird is still hungry after eating.
it eats what's there and begins to like poke around. I don't know the size of the safe, But I think for sake of argument, maybe it finds it and like pecks at the safe and figures out it can't open the safe and then just like curls back up next to the safe and falls asleep out of frustration.
Valraven will put the bird back in the nest on the couch and get out more ammunition for if it wakes up. And wants more food. And makes a note to go to the store to buy more ammo, because
Yeah, I would say specifically it left the metallic bits behind and was only after the powder.
the gunpowder.
Yeah.
Okay.
But after like that's like waking up in the middle of the night with a new animal and it just like it's doing something crazy. You take care of it and we push into the next morning. The only notable thing besides that is maybe on your drive home, Astrid, things are getting colder at night, as it usually does. But you find the next morning, because you were outside, you're like, oh, it's kind of chilly. You go home, and then when you wake up the next morning, you notice like the heat in your house is turned on. Maybe if you step outside, it feels just as brisk during the day as it did the previous night. Which is
Well-
very strange for like this current, since it's around the same time as we are currently. It's still pretty warm, but like right now it's like kind of chilly. Like you'd probably need a jacket.
I just kind of shake my head and mutter something about like Indiana weather.
That's true.
Yeah.
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 I don't know if any windows were open or anything, but everybody else in the house also knows it's quite brisk. What did Omina get up to anything during the night, or is this just cats doing cat things at night?
Cat temper tantrum.
Lots of running around at the single digits in the morning.
Yeah, she
That's
came back
neat.
at some point and curled up in the hammock. So when the morning actually rolls around, she's back.
Yeah, so it is in fact cold unless you close the window. But it's cold as it was last night, and if the window's still open, the house is very cold.
The house is very cold.
Yeah, so Thomas, you wake up to like the curtain flapping next to the window because it's open, and this is like probably 30-degree air. Like it's chilly because the sun just hasn't quite come up yet. But yeah,
Thomas wishes he had another coat.
Opens pocket, pulls out another coat.
so no other weird stuff on my end from overnight. But the next day is yours to do with what you will.
You know, after the day before, Valraven will probably be the last one to wake up.
There's a good reason. You're actually kind of, well, you're opposite the bird, right? You're not on it. Your room
Yeah,
is
opposite.
your room is slightly warmer than the rest. The bird gives off some kind of mild heat.
Oh, we'll have after the incident with the bullets, we'll have curled around the bird probably.
So yeah, you're warm. It's fine. But then you notice there's
Mhm.
like, it's like when you're warm, but one of your legs is sticking out from under the blanket, and you're like, oh, it's cold. And that kind of like wakes you up. So what is the plan on this new day?
Good question.
Well, we have a bird now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna call like in the morning because you said that Val wasn't up yet, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna call like in the morning. Like it's probably like 9 a.m. I've just had breakfast. I'm like probably going to go out and pull a shift, And I just give Val a call, see if he'll pick up, checking on the bird.
Yeah.
Mm,
So while
Ring.
while your phone's buzzing, you're woken up as the bird. You just hear like as the bird's like pecking at the phone because it's buzzing.
just one hand sneaks out from under the blankets and then comes back under. Flip, puts phone to ear. Hello?
Hey Val, it's Astrid. I'm just calling to check on the on your guest there. Did he eat any seed?
No, but he has put a dent in my spare ammo.
What? And you're
Need to get gunpowder later.
gunpowder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, just give me a call when you're more awake, I guess.
Perhaps I should visit a
maybe-
fireworks store or something.
At this time of year?
Yes.
I'm sure I have a contact that would have something.
You want me to see if Dad has some fireworks left over that maybe I can bring over?
Oh, that would be lovely. What
Okay.
time is it?
It's like 9.
Oh, that dog won't hunt. Bye. Hangs up. And goes back to sleep.
Also, out of context conversations. How's the bird? I need more bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, when you head out to your car to start your shift, there is another letter underneath your windshield wipers.
I snatch it up. Does it have like the special? What's on it? Is there anything on it?
It's that same type of colored paper before, and it has that same aquamarine calligraphied A on the front of it.
I open it up, not really feeling enthusiastic about it, but I don't want to find more letters on my car throughout the day.
Yeah, you open it up, and inside is a letter that says, it just says sorry at the top of it, and then underneath it it says, maybe we can take things a little bit more traditional, and there's a another coin similar to your Fey phone.
Mm-hmm.
And this one has a different notch than before, but you could probably guess it would still go to Jess. And it says, give me a call and we can figure something out.
Did she give me her personal digits? Oh my god. It's like, I assumed that all I had before was her work phone number.
That is true. You had the how may I direct your call coin, and now you
Yeah.
have sorry, this let's figure this out phone number coin.
So, okay. So, emotionally, I'm still not ready to talk to her. So, I'm just going to put it in my wallet next to the other coin. And I'll fold the letter, put it in my pocket. Not shove it in, but just like put it in. And I'll think about it.
Okay.
So, I'm going to start my shift.
What's everybody else doing?
Belraven is determined to sleep until noon.
That's true.
Omina will get up at like 10:30 and make a pot of coffee, and then after about 5 minutes of it being done, she realizes that Val's not up, so she finishes the pot of coffee herself and then makes a second one.
Can you roll a single d6 and let me know if it's odd or even?
It is odd.
You could only find the normal coffee today.
Damn it. Fine.
Haven't had time to get more.
Fine. That just means I went through 3 pots of coffee by the time you got up, and there's only half of a mug left for you, and it's cold. Your problem, not mine.
Oh.
All right. So what is the plan
Well-
today?
Well, in that case, when I go out and get breakfast, I'm not bringing you back any pastries.
Tom's
I hate it here.
there.
I hate it here.
Tom is just there witnessing all of this.
Well,
It's like, just because you're in a snit doesn't mean you get to take it out on me.
Yeah, so once everybody's up and around, the bird is also up and around, awake. It hasn't gotten up and moved, but yeah, we find that awkward scene of like everybody happens to be in the same living room at the same time. It's just kind of like, well, and everybody kind of like looks at the bird as it just like happily looks up around and everything around it, and it's just like moving its body like it's excited, has all this energy.
Oh dear. How do you exercise a bird? I can't exactly take it out for a walk.
I can.
I'm not sure I like that tone.
I want to take the bird for a walk. It can't fly, right? Its wings don't have feathers. Like we don't have to worry about that, right?
It's not like fully, it still looks kind of like partially feathered in. If it could fly, it'd be like maybe like a turkey, like a big leap.
Short
Not much
bursts.
else.
Yes. I think we should try to take the bird for a walk.
I really don't think.
So when you say walk, the bird looks up at you, kind of like shakes its head a little bit, and fluffs its feathers, and you see like a little bit of you know how like fairy dust looks like in Peter Pan. It does that, and there's like a little shimmer, and you see its plumage looks like a peacock now. It looks like a peacock,
You're going to take a peacock for a walk.
and
Yes.
then it looks back up at Omina and kind of like beep.
Okay,
Does its head
At
also
this-
cock to one side when it does that?
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Right.
And Val's going to try and fashion a harness out of things that he has lying around. It's probably going to be either the lead is probably going to be from some kind of let's be serious. It's probably going to be completely made out of ribbon. But it'd probably work.
Perfect.
He's good with knots. He can fashion something that would be sturdy enough and is not going to hurt the bird, but can still look like it's on a lead. So Amita can take the bird for a walk.
This is
Oh,
this is only gonna go well.
So good.
So you get this
Perfect.
all fashioned, you get ready to walk out the door, and
Well.
we do a quick cut over to the early hours over in the woods. It's kind of like that similar picture that we got out of context as we see the tree door open up, and as this great 8-9 foot tall figure steps out in the early morning, you see him reach back inside the tree and pull out what looks like an executioner's axe, throws it on his shoulder, strokes its like long red green mossy beard, and like sniffs deeply in the air and then begins to take long lumbering strides out into the woods. And we cut back to walking down the street with a peacock as people look on, but some people are alarmed because, for people who don't know, when a peacock makes a sound, I think
It trumpets.
girl peacocks from far away, it sounds like somebody's yelling help. So it's kind of like disarming at first, but people are like, "Oh, they have a bird." Man, Indiana's weird.
No, like peacocks are loud.
Yep,
Mhm.
they are loud and obnoxious.
Mm-hmm. It's like
And
or something like that. It is.
and of
it
course
is
that makes a great
horrible.
foil. That makes a great foil for Amina.
This is
Yeah,
very good.
yeah.
This is very on brand. So did Val go along on the bird walk?
I imagine Val trails behind. Doesn't really trust this situation not to go horribly wrong, but wants to make sure nothing bad happens.
And I think when you guys go for this walk, this is where you get that reminder of, like, there's actually a bit of like brisk wind, like it is in October. But there's kind of like occasional gusts, but you're like, oh, it's actually chilly. It wasn't just like a weird day. So everybody's on the same page about that. Is there like a
Okay.
predetermined path you had to walk, or was it just like, I'm gonna go around the block?
Omina very quickly starts to try to race the bird in short bursts. So, like, gets ahead of the bird, lets the bird catch up and pass, and then back and forth, not at all paying attention to where they're going.
And Thomas, are you also going with them?
Yep, because
You
That,
you do notice that, like,
that sigh.
I think there maybe was some confusion at first as you kind of like see the bird and you look at it and it's got this harness all drawn up and you guys are about to walk outside and you're like, why are we taking this firebird outside? Like, you haven't conceived the fact that it looks like a peacock. To you, it just looks like the firebird.
oh. Oh. That's interesting. I guess I made comment about that to Val Raven as we're walking around because Omina's not gonna hear anything I say.
Oh,
Hey Val, are
So-
you sure it's a good idea to take the Firebird out for a walk? I mean, it's a Firebird. Mr.
well,
Freaky.
it seemed to indicate its willingness to go out on a walk by, I think it's some sort of glamour, maybe, but it looks like a peacock, which is, marginally less suspicious to be taking out on a walk.
Oh. It looks like a peacock to you?
Yes. There was a bit of a light show before it changed.
Because it still looks like the same as it was before to me.
Oh, that's interesting. And could be very useful.
In case we lose it in a flock of peacocks.
So, no, just in case this is an ability that you have to see through glamours in general rather than just that of the Firebird.
I'll keep that in mind. Looks like something to maybe do some experimenting with when, we're not dealing with crazy winter stuff.
Yes. I'd rather winters not get worse. They're already bad enough. Last far too long. What is with this place and not really having a spring? I feel like it's either winter or summer.
I don't know. That's just the Midwest for you.
Yep.
Where the weather can't make up its mind what it wants to do, and the temperature can't either.
Well, that's inconvenient.
So how long does your typical morning shift last for as an Uber driver?
So I was looking at it, and some Uber shifts, like I guess they recommend up to like 12 hours, but for sake of like, for the sake of not taking like, a 12-hour shift and like, actually being able to meet up with people, I'm just gonna say it's like 8 hours.
Sure.
So I head out like around 9. We'll say that I'm done by what? 6?
Yeah, it's like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Well, I pre-rolled, and I get a 10 plus. I assume maybe charm for it. So you had like a great, pretty successful route. The new like cold weather, people are like, oh, I don't want to walk in this, and so you got like
Mhm.
more and more pickups, and just based on your general charming personality, based off your hunter stats and everything, you're like a pretty great Uber driver, and everybody's just happy to have a warm car to sit in to go somewhere.
That's good.
So this is like an above average day for you.
Oh, good. Awesome.
All right. So as for the rest of you, what else are we getting up to?
Well, Val is going to try and find a place that would have fireworks or gunpowder. It's like if he has
Why not-
to contact
Why not the local Walmart or Rural King. Those places generally do have some gunpowder.
Hang on. Are we about to try to continue wrangling a Firebird in public and acquiring a small barrel of gunpowder to feed said Firebird at the same time? Because I feel like this is where we're headed.
Well, I'm sure.
Well,
Val
I'm
gets,
sure.
bullets from somewhere,
That's true.
and Thomas has a shotgun, so I get
Especially since
shotgun
Val
from somewhere.
Val may have specialty bullets made on occasion. Someone who wouldn't really ask too many questions if he ordered a bunch of gunpowder. Actually probably has that
Your
person's phone
underground
number.
contact.
Probably has that person's phone number and will just get it delivered to the house instead of having to deal with a Firebird and possibly carrying around food source. That sounds like a better idea.
Okay.
And then I know money is not like a huge thing, but I assume it's safe to say you have enough money on hand to just buy a chunk of powder. I don't know where Val Ravenswealth comes from.
Well, remember-
Mostly it comes from gambling and conning criminals. So yeah, has quite a bit.
Okay.
I think Zero Session didn't. Valraven mentioned something about doing really good at the casino that night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
True. Yeah.
You've got a rainy day fund for your rainy day fund, so to speak.
Yeah, it's like granted these last few days he hasn't been able to do his normal rounds of gambling and or shady deals. But I mean, he's got enough to spell for these kinds of situations.
Yeah. So what's that process like? Do you just kind of like call up the guy, say drop it off here, I'll send you the money? Like what's the song and dance with contacting your specialty guy?
Yeah, that's basically how it goes. Uh, it goes even better if the person that Val is contacting owes him something. So it's like, hey, it's like you know how you owed me for that one thing? We can clear it if you just do this.
Sure. So I would say possibly by the end of the day, uh, that'll be dropped off at some point.
Sounds good. Nondescript box just hanging out outside of Valraven's door by the time they get back. Maybe.
Yeah,
Well, by the end of the day.
it's fine.
Hope we didn't go on an 8-hour walk.
No, let's not go on an 8-hour walk.
Yeah, what else do you guys get up to?
Well, perhaps Val will stop by the Fey phone at some point since we are going out for a walk.
Yeah. Do you take everybody with you when you go to the Fey phone, or are you like, I gotta take a quick look? Like, what are the rules around the Fey phone?
Omina knows about the Fey phone because on occasion Val has been like, I'm really busy, but I need to contact Val. Could you just make this? And then that did not turn out well. She's like, can you just make this call for me real quick?
So when you go to use it, does everybody kind of go along? Because I know there was like a slight glamour to it, I think.
Actually, we'll let Amina get a bit ahead, but we'll take Thomas over to see if he can see the Fey phone.
Hmm. That's a good point. Yeah, did we ever kind of describe what it was? Was it an actual payphone or was it glamored to where it's just not there?
Basically it was a phone booth, I think, was what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a payphone booth. But the glamour just encourages people to not see it.
Okay, I gotcha.
Because, I mean, they're around, you may remark, oh, that's a payphone. But most people don't remark any more than that.
Gotcha.
It's like, oh, it's there.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys make your way over to the Fey phone, walking there. There's nothing really significant about it. It just looks like one of those. It doesn't necessarily have a door to it. It's just kind of like that 3/4 wall. Doesn't have a fourth wall to it, and there's just a payphone. Thomas, you kind of see it. It just looks like a payphone to you. But as you get up there, you do notice the bird on the ribbon leash kind of like walks up to it, and it's almost like what a cat would do, how it like smears its face against something. The bird kind of like nudges up against it and kind of like pecks at it curiously. But yeah, that's. And then as far as like looking at the Fey phone, I would say Thomas does see that there is like maybe a little squiggle on it. You're like, oh, that's kind of a weird squiggle. But you know that's like the indication of it being a Fey phone. So yeah, nothing dissuades you from looking at it as far as that's concerned with the glamour. But you do notice that the bird kind of has taken a liking to whatever it is that's around this.
All right, I'm just going to make a quick phone call, and yeah.
All right, who are we calling?
Oh, going to be calling Fel since I think I should update him on the fact that I have a new
Acquired a Firebird.
feathered house guest.
Gotcha. Okay.
Break out the popcorn. This is gonna be interesting.
Yes.
Oh, and the fact that yes, going to the woods did in fact not turn out disastrously. We all made it out with our limbs and skin intact.
Okay. See, I think the first thing that Fell responds with, because I want to say his last warning was don't go after this alone, because of his concern for you, and I think his first response is, Val, what did
Yes.
what did I explicitly tell you?
To not go after this alone. I wasn't alone. And everything worked out fine.
It did this time. It sounds like you were very lucky. But definitely from the information you've given me, it hasn't helped my opinion of the situation.
Yes, well, it's like I'm not exactly sure what to do from here. It's like I know we have to protect the bird, but
I think when you bring up the burn, Fell's like, you don't have it with you, do you?
Screeches loudly outside the booth.
It's
Omina's
like-
case again.
Stop pecking me.
technically Omina has the care of it at the moment, but yes, it's with us.
You just hear a long, drawn-out sigh on the other end. You need to be really careful about that. You don't know who's after it. What's even your plan with this bird?
Well, I was hoping to take care of it until it got back to its normal size, or near enough so that we can help it on its way.
I mean, I could take a look at it. I don't. The problem is if I help or mess with it in any way, that's going to reflect upon my position here, and things have been pretty strained between the summer and winter courts here, and any dip in power in either direction is going to make things really interesting since everyone's already on edge. I could maybe try to find somebody to keep an eye on it for you if you want. Otherwise, I would just say be very, very careful about taking care of it. This is one of those things from a long time ago. It's either that indication of great fortune if someone hangs on to it, or great misfortune to happen to those who hang on to it. It's a big coin flip.
and at that, Val kind of grins and is just like, you know how I am about gambles.
Yep. That's why I'm doing my best here.
I'm sure everything will turn out just fine. We've already found out what the bird eats, so hopefully that will accelerate the growth process. It's already grown quite a bit since we found it, so hopefully it will be back up to full strength soon.
I hope so. The sooner it gets back up to strength and on its way, the less likely you'll be in great danger. By the way, what does it eat?
Well, it ate the gunpowder out of my bullets last night, so I feel gunpowder and things that you'd normally find in fireworks would be a good place to start.
You hear some like scribbling on the other end of the line. And what other weird behaviors does it have? Like it's like now has shifted out of concern and into like work taking notes kind of mode.
It looks like a peacock right now.
Well, it has shown an ability to glamour itself.
Oh, that's usual for Fey things, but since it's not up to full strength, that's kind of interesting.
Yes, it was looking a little, uh, Fledge-like. And, when we mentioned going for a walk, decided to show its approval by putting on uh, a less noticeable appearance. Only slightly less because it turned into a peacock, but um,
So it has some type of intelligence or can understand what you're saying.
it appears so.
Okay. I'm gonna make all these notes and maybe have them find their ways into the archive at some point. Uh, but again, just try to stay safe with the whole situation. I'm gonna reach out on my sources to see if there's any other helpful information we can send your way.
Well, I will certainly make more observations, and you'll just owe me one.
Ah. Speaking of which, what else did you find out about like how did you pick up the bird?
Well, we decided to check out the woods. I know it was probably a reckless idea, but that's partially why I did it. Um, and as we were exploring the woods, we were specifically looking for the Firebird, but we found it and the Black Rider.
And the rider chased after you? Or was it after the bird?
It appeared after we found the bird. So it it looks like it was after the bird, but it did chase after us for a short while. Some of us managed to get out of the woods, and some wolf shifters intercepted it from the others.
Wolf shifters. What color were they?
From what Omina described, one of them was white, and we'll go on to describe the others because I don't remember.
Yeah. They were like
All white.
they were all white, really big dire wolves. You hear Fell kind of like think for a moment, maybe tap his fingers. You haven't talked to any old ladies, have you?
I have not. No.
Val?
One of my acquaintances has possibly talked to an older lady.
Are they still here?
They're not with us at the moment.
Oh no.
Why?
As much as you'd like to have people owe you one, you don't want to owe her one. If that person's not with you, I'm very worried about them. When's the last time you saw them?
I got a call from her this morning.
Oh, okay. Was this after she talked to her?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I was worried about. You don't want to owe anybody anything, especially her. If she got out, that's all I was concerned about. Sometimes when you go to see her, you don't leave. She's
Aha.
she's as much as you like making deals, she is the best at making deals. Sometimes you just can't refuse.
I will make a note of that.
But yeah, I'll keep an eye on some stuff. I'll send you some information when I can. Just things it's like you explained all of the worst things that could happen, and you're just on the other side of the phone, like, please, please just look out for yourself.
It's like, I will. I don't like making you worry, but I will try and do better.
I will make a note of the what's that? The fourth time you've said that now?
I was just about to ask how many times has
As
Too
he
many.
as
Too
he
many.
as he chuckles about it.
Hmm.
But look, I'm gonna get back to work here, look up a couple of things. But you know, stay safe.
Of course.
This is like the pandemic hang up. Stay safe, wash your hands.
Yep. It's like you too. Hopefully I will have more information for you soon.
I look forward to you giving me that information. And he kind of says his goodbyes and hangs up. To where Thomas, you hear the receiver click and the coin that she put in falls out of the machine. And you're like, there's a free phone out here?
Yeah, Val puts the coin back in his pocket. Yes, well,
I just arch one eyebrow at him. Like,
Mhm.
well, my friend was quite worried when I mentioned the wolves, but evidently it was more in deference to Astrid's date than the wolves themselves.
I
Why is
see.
everybody interested in my love life?
We know why I am.
It's who you met on that date, really? That has us concerned?
Yeah, you know, old ladies and chicken
I-
feet houses that eat children.
I mean,
I
really,
mean,
was
it's
this
not
the
like
first?
she took me home to meet grandma.
Kinda. But,
Or
That's a grandma. I'd be worried.
in any case, I think Val would kind of get the urge to call Astrid. Just, check in. Make sure she's alright.
Yeah. So you get that return call maybe just as you're dropping off some people.
Mm-hmm.
When you're about to take your next fare, you see that your phone rings from Valraven. Or I assume it says like unknown number when it rings, and you're like, oh.
Yeah. What time is it? Is it still like noon? Or is it afternoon?
Probably that or pushing a little bit after.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I answer just real cheekily to say, like, you're up early.
Yes, well, someone decided to take the bird for a walk.
Can you walk bird?
Yes,
mean-
well, I made up a harness, and it looked like the bird really wanted to go out for a walk.
Okay.
Change, looks like a peacock now and everything.
Wait, it looks like a How does it look like a peacock?
I believe it's some sort of glamour, or shape-changing ability, but, indeed, looks like something that will be noticed, but not noticed in the ways we don't want.
Wow. Okay, so we have a peacock now. Cool. So you said that you needed more bullets last time I spoke with you. What's
Yes,
going on?
I'm having gunpowder delivered to my house, and that should take care of the
Okay.
situation. But I did, my contact was rather concerned when I mentioned the wolf shifters and had some pretty explicit warnings about grandmotherly types,
Oh,
and was quite worried about you in particular.
that's weird. Why were they worried about me?
Made specifically mentioned that it is not owing grandmotherly types things like perhaps your life is not a firm footing to be on.
Well, lucky for you, I don't owe her anything. The bag that she was given, the payment, seemed to suffice for the answers that we sought. So, I don't remember making any deals with her.
Yep. I just wanted to check in since
Mm-hmm.
you seemed very worried.
He seemed very worried.
Yes.
Not you?
Well, after he said some things, I became very worried.
Okay.
Said something about if she got out, it would be very bad.
If she got out.
Something
That's-
about if she made a deal with someone, if she got out, or the fact that some people who make deals with her don't come back.
Well, I'm here, so I don't know what to tell you. I didn't make any detail. Didn't make any deals. Look, I gotta go. I think I have another. I think I have another ride request coming in. So let's meet up later tonight, okay? And then we can go over all this. You can regale me the story of your adventures with a peacock.
Sorry, I think my internet just cut out just a bit. It's been doing this
Okay.
lately.
No, it's okay. I just said that.
It's like I think
we
I
can
heard
meet up-
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, let's
uh,
just plan to same place as always, Waffle House, or will they let us take birds into Waffle House?
let's find out.
I mean,
It's
maybe
Waffle
can you
House,
pass
not
it off
Blitz.
as? I don't think you can pass it off as a service animal, but
Emotional support animal? I'm
maybe,
sure I
I
can
mean,
get some paperwork drawn up.
People take parrots around, so maybe you can take a peacock around. All right, so yeah, I'll talk to you later, okay? I just hang
Yep.
up without anything else.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
All right. So you guys just heading back to Valraven's place then?
Yeah, I think so. If they're meeting at Waffle House later.
I was gonna say at least sticking together for a while probably seems like the best bet.
Okay.
Yeah, especially since we now have a warning that we really should try and take care of the bird and we have no idea who's going to be after it. Maybe strength in numbers would be good.
All right. So you guys head back to Valraven's place. Um, and when you get there, who? I mean, I'm assuming Valraven goes first, but you go unlock the door, you turn the knob. The knob's like slightly cold when you open the door. Uh, and then you notice a little old lady sitting on the couch waiting for you.
Oh no.
Mm,
She's got like, it looks like rough cloth cloak rags kind of look. And when the door opens, she kind of like looks at you and has this like real wrinkled, uh, kind smile. And the bird takes off past you through your legs and walks up to the old lady. And
hello?
you see her kind of like look down at the little bird. Oh, so who's been a good bird? And you see her like kind of like play with the bird and like run her hand over its feathers and kind of like scratch the side of its cheek. And the bird just kind of like nestles into her a little bit and the glamour drops. And then she turns back up at you. Oh, you must be that young lady's friends.
Well, definitely know who it is now.
Uh-huh.
Thomas, you don't see an old lady. You see a very old woman who doesn't have like this nice face. You see like a shimmer of some type of energy of like she does look like what everybody looks like, but you see like whatever it is fading, and you can kind of see her like true form, and she looks really old and like nightmarish fuel. Like her features are elongated. You can see her extended like arms and fingers, and she looks very spooky. But you can see like she's struggling to maintain this form. And
If I knew I was going to have visitors, I would have cleaned up.
and the old woman kind of gestures out to the couch opposite and says, "Go ahead, have a seat. We need to have a chat."
Is that just to Valraven or to all of us?
To all of you, as like you see her hand gesture to you, but Thomas sees like her very long skeletal hand gesture to you, and like
How close is it to actually touching us at this point?
it's not so much distance as her hand is like much larger, much wider than what her human hand looks like.
Yeah, Valraven will probably shoot a little bit of a warning look to the others, especially
Well,
Omina.
Thomas doesn't need a warning look.
Yeah, I know. It's like, but has to include you, or else Omina might get defensive, and that might be a bad thing.
Well,
No.
you also don't know that I don't see her the way you're seeing her right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's head knowledge.
All right, and we'll go take a seat on the couch.
I'm just not gonna mention what I'm saying.
Have fun, guys.
Yep.
And Omina, what are you doing?
Do you have like a coffee table in front of the couch or anything, Val, or is it just like open space?
There is a kind of low coffee table. There are two couches. There's probably a couple of armchairs as well.
Okay. So I'm imagining she's sitting on like the end of a couch. Then there's the coffee table. I'll sit at the end of the coffee table at the opposite end from her. So if you're sitting on the couch, like you're physically between her and me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I approve of
Yep.
this.
Once you all
Got the look.
once you all sit down for a moment and wait just a little bit, you see her like you know, like when you sneeze and you can like feel it in your shoulders and you do that kind of like ache where you like just slightly adjust. She does that and looks down at the ground for a moment and then looks back up at you and I don't suppose any of you would like to make a deal.
Normally,
Thomas, when you see her do that like shift and she looks down at the ground, you see like beneath her face, you see her grimace a little bit, like there's a bit of pain from something.
normally I would be very interested, but I'm afraid I would be in trouble with someone else if I disregarded his advice.
And then she looks to the other two and to you two. Would you like to make a deal?
Gotta think now. Because that grimace kind of makes it seem like she might need us for something.
I will look to Val.
But I'm also scared to death of her because, you know, true form.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like Val's kind of looking at Amina out of the corner of his eye.
If you're at least open to the idea of making a deal, perhaps I can tell you about it and then answer after. Does that possibly pique your interest? And you see her like
Oh.
wave her hand on the table and a little like tea saucer and cup appears and she picks it up and begins to like drink from it. Which is funny for Thomas because it's like this long elongated hand just like daintily picks up this cup.
It's like how I would. Oh, that is so tempting. Yeah, I would like to hear about this deal first.
And so you see her like steeple her hands together and she does another sharp wince as we cut out to the woods and we see a spray of red hit some trees as we see this the same bearded guy from before wrench his axe out of some type of creature and you see him kick a white wolf at least 4 feet away from him into the woods and you see him surrounded by about 3 to 4 more of them and you see like this sharp grin on his face and we cut back to your living room. It would seem my daughter is becoming slightly more creative than she's used to. It would also seem that she has taken my house. Not only has she taken my home, but she seems to be taking my pets as well. And I'm not in quite the best condition that I used to be. And then we see another cutout to the woods as like a dog jumps at the larger creature and you see him like catch one of him with his hands and then he like bats away another with his axe. And we go back to the living room. It seems that she's looked to demons to assist her. One that calls himself Kostitchiki.
I know that.
I helped him long ago, and it seems that she's deciding to use my own deal against me. And we see once more like a drawn out field of 3 to 4 other wolves kind of like laying in the ground covered in leaves. And we see that as this figure is holding this last wolf in his hands, it shifts back to that same lady with the wolf pendant. And we see it zoom out just a little bit as that same old woman in the white robes kind of smiles and says, "We'll take her with us." And we see her open, like, she waves her hand and this, like, frosty door appears. And she gestures and walks through it, and the large figure takes the wolf with them into it as the door closes. And you see the hunched old woman kind of like fall a little bit lower to the ground. Not only has she taken my house and my pets, but I'm afraid my power might go too. And Thomas, you see as like, as far as your ability to see through glamour, you can see her fully now. She looks like if somebody was stretched far too long, and as she's just like all bundled underneath these clothes. And so this is my deal. If you help me, I will reward you in kind. And she looks down to the little bird and kind of like scratches its neck.
Yeah, it's like Val is looking to the others and it's just like, I may be making some apologies. but I will not make this decision alone.
So while you're thinking about this decision, we see Astrid in her car pulls off to the side, lets out her passengers, and it's probably like still dusk out, right? Like not quite dark. Probably like
yeah, probably. Yeah.
4 or 5 o'clock, like still sunny out.
Mm-hmm.
You see this guy in a motorcycle pull up to like the traffic in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got a red motorcycle, black leather vest, long red beard, and a helmet. And you see him kind of like look over towards your direction.
Mm-hmm.
And you see as the day gets a little bit later, you start to see his clothes change into black, his motorcycle turn into black, his beard disappears, and he becomes that same rider, except he's on a motorcycle instead of a horse.
Shit.
Strange danger.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm in danger.
And we go back to the living room again. So is there a deal to be struck?
I feel like I'll look at Val like I feel like
Val
there
likes
weren't
that.
enough words.
One.
So basically, we help you adopt your daughter in exchange for an undetermined favor for each of our group.
As long as it's within my power. There are some things that are off limits. Things that I won't do anymore.
I think that I think I could reach an agreement with that. And then looks to the other two.
I can agree with that. As long as Val here can write up a nice little neat contract. Investigative paperwork stuff. You know. Having things in writing is better.
You see her twist her index finger in the air as 3 separate pieces of paper fall onto the coffee table in front of you. And then a 4th one appears as well next to it.
It's like
That
she's
has
expecting someone.
that has Astrid's name next to it as well.
Yeah, Val's going to look over it, make sure that there's nothing. I mean, it seems like she's pretty on the level, but I need to make sure there's no fine print.
Also looking over them, because I'm sure, being a private investigator, I've seen some legal documents, and well, actually having actual experience with reading some of those things, I know how they can be worded in interesting ways. Wording is very important.
Give me an act under pressure.
For both of us?
If you're, or who's all reading it over? Okay. Yeah, roll act under pressure. So that's plus cool.
Oh no.
I got a 5.
Oh god.
Thomas is not very cool, so.
Are any of us?
I mean,
I'm
I
I
don't.
also got a 5.
Oh
I-
no.
Oh no, we're not
I
doing
have-
good.
I have a -1 to my cool roll, so.
So
I have a
do
+1 to
I.
cool, and I still got a 5, so I rolled bad.
I'm gonna read the contract, but I'm not like
That's what I rolled.
Oh, no.
great at looking for like whatever they're looking for. I did roll a 9 on act under pressure though.
Okay.
I don't know if that gets me anything. Doubt it.
So yeah, for acting under pressure, this is just for you to like read through the remaining glamour on the paper. And as you read through it, it seems pretty cold cut. Like, she wants her house back. She wants her daughter stopped. And in return, she will bestow upon you a gift. And the gift is like in quotations. And so
It's pretty much an indeterminate, whether it be a material thing or a favor.
there's like an asterisk, like no immortality.
Okay. I'm guessing that's the fine bit portion there. Anything that's by the asterisk.
Yeah, the asterisk indicates no immortality. There's no like wish factor. This is like the genie rules. You can't wish to bring someone back from the dead. You can't get immortality.
Can't wish for more.
You can't make
wishes.
someone love you. You can't.
That one's not
Or-
on. That one's not on there.
Oh,
It just says no immortality.
but that's a bad thing to wish for in general because that's a monkey's paw situation just waiting to happen.
You're assuming Omina cares, and that's really considerate of you.
Except I think for the price to pay on Omina's, yours says specifically cannot change destiny. And when you read that, you kind of like pause for a moment. Yeah, it was more like as you're reading it through these asterisks, that last one appears on the paper.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
for everyone else who did not roll well, I think for this, I'm gonna do a weird call and say like don't mark experience. You're not quite sure of the terms of the deal. I'm not gonna like crack you over reading through Glamour. I just wanted to make some tension. But yeah, you have these long drawn out contracts. Valraven, as you're reading them over, your like vision starts to swim. It's like this is complicated. There's a lot of weird
And
exceptions.
Valraven's getting sleepy just by
It-
reading it.
No, it's that and the prospect of
Make a deal. Don't make a deal.
someone this powerful owing him a favor. He likes
Ah,
people owing him favors.
Yeah, or maybe it's
And
that inner greed makes you like read too fast.
Yeah. And maybe just skimmed a bit too much.
But you all get that same information.
Rather than
considering
reading
I
it
can see
thoroughly.
considering I can see what she actually looks like, I figure it's probably in my best interest to accept this deal, as opposed to saying no to. Yeah.
So I will leave you to sign that however you wish. If you do choose to sign it.
You know, we'll just sign it Valraven. Pointedly not leaving any other name on there.
Is that like your true name?
It's his first name. It's not his whole true name exactly, but it's enough that it should work for this contract and not give away his true name.
If it's not your true name, the ink melts through the paper and disappears.
So, okay. I may need a stipulation that you will not use our true names for any purposes other than enforcing this contract.
You see that line just materialize on the paper next to the sign.
Dang.
It's like if you're going to insist that we write our true names.
It's more like I don't want you to give a fake name to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mhm.
like I am accepting this responsibility.
Okay. So in that case, he will sign it Valraven Firesinger.
Okay. And then the other two sign as well.
Yep.
Yep, in
Oh,
childlike cursive.
She
Very slow.
she picks up each paper and leaves the last one. And she produces like a little snow globe out of her robe and shakes it a little bit and sets it down on the table. And you see a familiar car with a Uber sticker on it. And you see the motorcyclist next to her change into that rider's depiction before. And she says, "A show of good faith." As you see this rider like stand up from his motorcycle and turn to walk towards her car, like very Terminator like. And
I'm in trouble.
we're gonna take a quick 10 or 15-minute break.
All right.
I wanted to go to Speedway and get like snacks and whatnot because I realized that I need snacks.
I might have to make some coffee.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I'm gonna have to make more tea.
So we're gonna come back in like 10 to 15 minutes and see what happens. So,
Okay.
so we'll change to that. Hey, we're back. Yeah, so now we've got some fun stuff, right?
So,
Yeah, we need to go.
so yeah, a show of good faith. We have definitely been shown that our friend is in danger. Um,
Yeah.
Valraven's going to do a bit of a bow, and he's will say, "It seems we have a prior engagement." And will gesture over to the contract. May I take this for now? And
She kind of waves dismissively with the backside of her hand. Yes, yes, take it with you.
will give a bit of a nod, and then look down at the bird.
The bird's kind of like folded itself underneath and sat next to like her feet.
It's like, well, if you're okay with staying here.
Is that directed at the bird?
Yes.
The bird just kind of like playfully pokes at like her shoes and seems very content to just kind of mess with her.
Okay, we'll give the bird a bit of a pat on the head, and we'll go. We'll be back as soon as we can.
Be a good girl or boy.
Be a good bird.
Be a good
Be
bird.
a good bird. Better. That is better. Be a good bird. Sorry, that's what I tell my cats whenever I leave. It's like, be good girls.
All right.
So if we're about to go leave, Amina's gonna run into the room real quick and then run back out. It's just the briefest glimpse of her shoving a giant bag of jelly beans in her backpack and sipping it up. Because if we're about to leave, this old woman in the house not having the jelly beans.
Omina doesn't trust that the old woman's
I don't trust her. Just
Don't
signed
blame-
something that I don't know, but not the jelly beans. We're fine.
Raven's going to look longingly at the hunting rifle, but sigh and stick with his revolver and hunting knife. It's like, don't want to go traipsing through the city with a hunting rifle on my back, gathering attention. Why do I
It is
even have this?
Indiana.
Well, home defense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's another great question. Does Thomas actually have his gun, or do you give that to Thomas? Because I don't imagine you guys walked around with a shotgun, so to speak.
Unfortunately, no, I did not. I am not going to be taking my shotgun with me to the middle of town. Or wherever it is.
So as you
Granted, I'd
guys
like
step out the front door, we are now back inside Astrid's car. As you see this guy, I think he was like, let's say you're on the side of the road, and it's like
Mhm.
maybe a 2-lane wide each way,
Mm-hmm.
and you see this guy on his motorcycle just park it in like the middle of that like large white line, like he was at a red light. He like throws the kickstand out, gets off his motorcycle, and begins to like walk directly towards you.
Shoot. All right, so I'm gonna reach onto my passenger side where I usually keep my baseball bat, and then realize I left my baseball bat in a tree in the woods. Oh shit. All right, next best thing. I'm calling Valraven.
That's not driving away. Calling Valraven.
It's a
Yeah,
red light.
it's
I have
like the
red
first-
light. Are there cars in front of me?
The first ring hasn't even ended, and he's already picked up.
Are there? Okay, Joel. Are there cars in front of me?
Well, what time did we say? It was like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Oh,
this is
no.
like just before rush hour. There is an open slot, but you check your like driver's side rear view mirror, and there's someone rolling up quick. You could cut out in front of them to get through.
What do I need to roll to do this?
You
And
could
to like
you can
hit
either
Dr.
call
Valraven's number.
Valraven or pull out into traffic.
I'm gonna pull out into traffic.
All right.
What do I need to roll
I
for
guess
this?
that's
I
proper.
should. I feel like this should be a roll, like act under pressure or something.
Yeah, give me an act under pressure. So plus
Okay, and that's plus cool.
plus cool.
All right, come on. Ah. Well, that's a 7.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you a worse outcome, hard choice, or price to pay.
Okay.
You can make it into traffic,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe in your haste, you're either going to clip the car in front of you, or you're gonna put yourself that much closer to the guy walking towards you.
Well, I don't want to clip the car in front of me because then, like, what if that person wants to deal with insurance? Oh, this is tough.
Oh my god, this is such an Astrid thing to say.
It is.
Adult.
Like, I don't want to have to deal with insurance. I'm not yet 25. My rates are gonna skyrocket. Probably, maybe not for flipping a car, but
Which
Which
would
is-
be good for
But
your.
but
Uber
also it might not look good for your job as an
Yeah.
Uber driver.
yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
So you can either keep your
All
distance
right, I can't
from.
clip the car. I cannot clip the car.
Okay, so you pull out just a little bit farther to avoid the car,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna say this guy is within arm's reach.
Okay.
Which is funny because I like this scene in my head of the guy gets out of your car, walks off to the street, and then hears as like your car whips out into traffic, and he's like, "Dang, things people do for a fare." And then he notices the guy walking up as he goes up and pulls on your door handle. Is it? I'm assuming it's locked.
Okay, so the guy who's waiting for me
Yeah, this is
Okay.
motorcycle guy.
pulls on my door handle.
Pulls on your driver's side door handle.
I'm gonna click lock. I'm just probably just gonna like
I
see
know-
him go for the handle, and I'm just like clicking lock.
I know some cars automatically do it,
Mm-hmm. I don't think that this is that model.
or I don't think you unlock your door to let a passenger out, right?
I think it unlocks that one automatically.
Yeah, I mean, there's a thing on the side, or there's probably controls on the side where I can like click lock, unlock.
Okay.
Because
So
this is a decent car. It's probably not an awesome car.
so as he gives a yank on your door handle, what are you doing?
Clicking lock.
Okay. So I'm gonna say this is like a fey at a time. He's like, open door. How do cars work? So
Oh my
then
God.
he is going to, let me shift my pages here. He's gonna do something real fun, I think.
Fun for who?
For some
Fun for him.
people, I think. Well, it's cold out. So you see him reach from his side and retrieve his sword. And he's going to run the pommel into the window.
Oh my God. Wait, do pommels break windows? Because windows are tempered glass, aren't they?
We're about to find out.
Yes,
Yeah.
but he's also a large fey creature, so I'm gonna.
Oh God, how am I gonna explain this to my insurance?
So as you pull out into the road and you see him walk up, you snap to lock the door, and he pulls on it. He
Mhm.
retrieves his sword and smashes your window in.
Oh man. Okay.
What is your reaction?
I'm screaming. I think that's like probably the most human reaction is to scream. Like several expletives.
What would you like to do?
Oh my God. Oh God, I'm still buckled in too. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna grab I'm gonna try to after that moment of screaming, that the initial scream, I think I'm gonna scramble to unbuckle my seatbelt because I need to get away from this guy, and I think the only exit is to scramble over into the passenger seat and
You could-
try to get out on that side.
You could also hit the gas pedal.
That's true. I forgot about that. But there's a car next to me, isn't there? I
No.
would rear
You pulled
into
out.
somebody.
No, you
Oh, I
you
did?
you pulled out, and instead of
Oh,
clocking
okay.
the car, you pulled out into the intersection.
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah, I'm gonna put the pedal to the metal.
Okay. I want to say that's another act under pressure.
Yes, let's do this. Okay. Oh, that's not good either. 7.
Okay. So that's a partial success. Okay, so
Minus to my insurance. Oh my god.
all right, so I'm gonna say that you can either hit the gas while focused on him, not seeing what's in front of you,
Mm-hmm.
or you can keep focus on what's in front of you when you're driving. He's just gonna get a hold on something.
So I could drag him. I'm trying to think what the most human and Astrid response is going to be. And I don't think it's going to be focused on what's ahead of her. I think it's probably going to be focused on getting away from him.
Okay.
So I'm not going to pay attention to what's in front of me.
Okay.
Oh god.
It's a terrible decision, but I think this is the most human thing that, horror movie scenario. I think this is the most human thing. It's definitely a flight response. So I'm focused on the thing that I'm trying to escape.
Okay, so with your eyes focused on him and you just jam the gas,
Yep.
you pull straight into the intersection and
Yep.
you clip the tail end of a car that's passing through it. So you get away. Your car is not disabled, but now your window's broken. The front's kind of busted. There's a car in front of you that's got a ding in it, but
Dad's gonna kill me.
your car's still running, albeit a little shakier now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say, I don't think your airbag went off.
If I'm clipping a car, I don't think it would.
I'm gonna say momentarily inhibited for a 0 harm move.
Okay.
So you're dazed or at least shocked from having to is this the first collision you've been in?
Yes.
So I'm gonna say that you collide, your emotions are running, you're like, oh, I gotta get insurance, and then you're like, there's someone trying to get me. There's just so many emotions running through. So this person's going to walk towards your car, and we're gonna jump back to Valraven and friends. So you walk out of the house, and you're not sure where Astrid is.
I've got
I
this.
did. Oh, okay.
Tune in to the big freight creature.
Okay.
Perfect. See, I knew tune in would come in very handy during
Yeah.
these kind of things.
Valraven did see the street, so
So
Yeah.
did you get a
can I make a roll to see if he recognizes it, or at least the general direction?
Yeah, you can investigate a mystery if you want.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that.
And Spooky has tune in, so I need you to roll plus weird.
Yep. That is a 13.
Okay. So on a 10
I
plus hold 3, you can ask, where is the creature right now? What is it planning to do right now? Who is it going to attack next? Who does it regard as the biggest threat? And how can I attract its attention?
So I can hold on to 2 of those if I want to.
Yeah, so you can spend 1 to ask
I'm
me a
gonna spend one
question,
right now.
and you gain +1. You get 1 ongoing while acting on those answers. So, like, for example, if you were to ask where is it right now, any other rolls you would go towards trying to locate it, you'd get an additional 1 to any of those rolls.
Okay.
So what question did you want to go with?
We'll go with the where is the creature right now?
The creature is not quite downtown, but on the edge of downtown. Let's just say it's on Circle Street. You catch a glimpse of the sign there. Val Raven was investigating a mystery, right?
Yep.
All right, so
I got a 10.
all right, so you get hold 2.
Okay. Considering I know he's figuring out where it is, if I use investigate, I can ask what can hurt it. And I think that might be a great idea.
Yes.
What can hurt it? Definitely before you recall your previous conversation about anything silvered being especially good at hurting this creature. But also because it's kind of multiple creatures in one, hurting it will do just that. In order to like permanently kill it, you might have to harm each form of it.
Okay.
As you see it change into that creature, you see it reconstitute into different portions. But you definitely know Silver will hurt it and possibly negate having to take down each of its forms.
And I have my tiny silver knife. Oh, hope I don't have to get that close. But at least I have it. All right. I think I will hold on to the other question.
Okay.
For later.
Yeah, I'm saving my other 2 also.
All right. So when you mention Circle Street, I would want to say that all of you have a pretty good idea of like where to go. Omina runs around at night, so maybe you have a good idea of the city. Valraven's like, I know all the hidey holes. So what's the plan? You know, Circle Street's like, you could probably, because what, you're semi downtown, right?
Yeah, and I can kind of guess that Astrid would be heading towards us.
Sure.
So we're going to attempt to meet her halfway, figuring that the rider is going to follow.
Yeah, and it might lure it away from prying eyes. A little ways at least.
Okay. So you guys just take off in a dead sprint in that direction?
Yeah. At least I do. Once I hear Circle Street, I'm gone because
Yeah.
yeah. I also
Yeah.
have preternatural speed, so like if you guys are on foot, I'll see you when you get there. 'Cause,
So
it's just like Valerie was like, Omina, call me once you see it, so we might be able to set up an ambush.
okay.
So when you use that speed, is that like you're still on 2 legs? Like how are you?
Yeah, it's still 2 legs, but it's like mid transformation. So Amina's got cat characteristics all the time, but she's not going full house cat. Like she's still human sized, but like her legs like do that instead of bending this way, bend this way,
Mhm.
You have cat.
like cat legs and stuff, and then she's like takes off.
Gotcha. Okay. So as you guys take off, you are just starting to get hold of your senses after colliding into this car when you see the biker is now at your rear side driver's door as he attempts to open that door. Is that one also locked? Did you hit the lock or did you hit the lock button? I guess.
I clicked the lock button for the driver's door.
Okay, so he goes to pull on that door handle, and that sound, that click, is kind of what rouses you out of it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
I'm gonna gun it.
Are you gonna push through this car?
Ah, fuck, I can't.
Because it's still partially in front of you. But I mean, if you want to
Yeah,
act
when you said I clipped a car, I didn't think like I impacted it. I thought it was just like maybe clipped it like as I was passing and like continued on.
like the back quarter panel, like you knocked
Yeah, that's what I thought you said when you said clipped. I'm sorry, I should have asked for specification.
So yeah, you could easily like whip the wheel to the right and get around the car if you wanted, and still continue straight.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, that'd probably be another act under pressure.
That would. I could abandon my car, but
Or
that's my car, and I've already given up my baseball bat.
you could also read a bad situation to get.
Oh yeah, I
more
forgot. Read a
information.
bad situation. What is that? Plus smart.
Sharp.
Plus
Sharp. That's right. I'm
sharp.
sorry. Sharp. My bad. Okay. Yeah, I will read a bad situation. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. 5 on the dice plus 1. That's gonna be 6.
On a miss, you might misread the situation.
Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, you're fairly confident your best way out of here is to drive away.
Then yeah, I'm gonna try to drive away.
Okay.
I will roll that act under pressure. You know what? I'm gonna use different dice because these ones are rubbish.
You don't need to. Oh yeah,
Luck. No. Oh gosh, I could.
So as you drive away, I'm not gonna make you roll to act under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But as you take off, you immediately notice on your dashboard the low tire pressure sensor go off. And you start to get about 10 or 15 feet before you hear that as your tire has deeply inflated and your car's like struggling to move along.
Shit.
And also the guy's gotten out of the car and says, "Hey, where you going?" You then see the guy in black quickly resheath his sword and walk back to his motorcycle.
So walking back to his motorcycle? Seriously?
Yep. What are you going to do?
This is tough. Oh my gosh. Oh man, because I can't get far on that. I don't think I can get far on that like flat tire. I'm gonna have to stop.
You could, but it might further screw up your car.
Yeah, that's gonna damage a rim.
I mean, I'm loving all of it, but also it's just funny. Like, the rim could break. You also hit somebody. You also hit and ran from somebody.
Yeah. I'm gonna stop. I have to stop. I can't go on.
So are you bailing from the car? Or are you stopping to turn and deal with people?
I'm stopping to turn and deal with the guy who I hit. Because I was panicked because some asshole busted my window.
Okay. So you get out of your car as the guy's walking back to his motorcycle. The guy gets out of the car, and Gary's like near Chicago, right?
Yeah.
This is full
This is
Chicagoan. He
Yep.
is a big, chunky lad. He is angry, red in the face, and he just completely starts screaming at you as he like marches in your direction. He's like, "What do you think you were doing? It was a red light. This is my car. You're gonna pay for everything." And you can
I'm gonna
see
gesture to the guy who just walked away from my car. Like, you see that asshole? That asshole! He busted my fucking window, and I'm just gonna go on like that.
Fight it off.
By the way,
distraction,
are we
please.
allowed to drop the F-bomb on
yeah,
Twitch?
yeah, you're good.
You just did.
I just did. I'm sorry, Twitch. I'm so sorry.
Are you
I'm not.
shouting at him, or are you attempting to manipulate? Also, my stream is.
I don't think I have the emotional capacity to actually attempt manipulation, so I'm just shouting at him.
I also have the profanity filter on my stream, so you have to
Oh,
accept that
good,
to watch it. So
good.
you get to do that.
Okay.
What? How's that?
No profanity filter, because I'm a
Uh,
profane person.
If you set your stuff to like adult content and you go to a stream, it'll say it's gonna be like adult stuff, and then you hit
Mhm.
yes, that you acknowledge that. Anyway,
So yeah, so there's this whole like scene of just me like gesturing at the motorcyclist, you know, who's walking away, gesturing to my car, like with the busted first window, and just like saying like, this guy like just tried to assault me. He busted my window in. I needed to escape. I'm sorry I hit you. Oh my god. I almost died.
all right. This guy begins to shout back with such classic one-liners as, "I still can't believe that they let people like you drive," like clearly attacking you, not listening to what you're saying. And then we're gonna
Like,
jump.
I'm just like, yeah.
We're gonna jump back to Valraven and Thomas as Omina just takes off. Let's see. So you're starting to run downtown. Actually, we're gonna go to Omina. I'm gonna say that you might be able to run fast enough that you're starting. You heard a crash due to your senses, and you took off in that direction. You're starting to come upon some stopped traffic when you hear a motorcycle fire up, and you roll up to see this very plump man shouting, pointing fingers in Astrid's face as a motorcycle begins to pull through the intersection towards the two of them.
So motorcycles pulling towards them. Do I recognize the rider?
You recognize him from the snow globe.
Okay, yes. So, and he's clearly heading for Omina or Astrid, who's currently being yelled at by some other dude.
And
Cool.
I'm yelling back at him because, okay, this is Gary. I have to have a spine, right?
Yeah, of course you do. I'm going
Like, yeah,
to
I'm a nervous wreck, but I'm angry now.
an angry nervous wreck. I'm
Yes.
gonna read the situation, read a bad situation, and try to assess like what is like. I mean, clearly the rider is going to be the bigger threat, but he might not be the bigger immediate threat.
Right.
But also, I imagine they're standing in the middle of an intersection, and traffic is a whole thing.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm just going to try to get a general overview on what's about to happen.
Yep. So plus sharp.
I rolled a 6.
Okay.
I'm normally really good at this, but not this time.
All right. You might misread the situation.
Oops.
You might
Hey,
reveal.
at least we get a mark experience.
Mark that XP.
That's why I took that fail.
Fail less in the future.
Ooh.
Oh, I
The
don't like that.
Nobody likes hearing that.
The keeper can ask the questions above of you.
Ooh. Ooh.
You know what? As far as you're concerned, the motorcyclist is the biggest threat. Yeah. We'll go with that one.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be great. Okay, so I'm gonna say what you probably make it there twice as fast as the others do. So between you and Astrid, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm still screaming at this guy.
So this guy clearly doesn't care what you have to say. Part of it is maybe he had a bad day and he's yelling at you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Part of it's probably because he's from Chicago.
but he's making it a point to yell at you and berate you versus resolving the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And partway through your shouting match, you understand that like this guy's not going to be reasoned with.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't punch him.
Can you?
Can't you?
No, I can't. I'm not a punchy person.
Doesn't mean you can't try.
Yeah.
All right, so like, okay, so I'm really focused at screaming. Like, emotions are high. I'm screaming at this person, and you said that the motorcycle's pulling away.
The motorcycle kicks to life as he like starts it back up, and you hear a bit of tires squeal as he begins to drive in your direction. So as you're shouting with this guy, you hear the rumble of the engine get louder as he crosses through the intersection through the slowed traffic. It begins to pull up towards you guys.
Okay. Crap. Let's look at some moves that I can do. Oh, good. I did bookmark this. You know what? I think I'll try reading a bad situation with the motorcyclist rolling up.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, my dice are bad. Okay, so that's 7 on the dice plus sharp. That's going to be an 8.
All right, so hold 1. What's your best way in? What's your best way out? Dangers you haven't noticed. Biggest threat. What's most vulnerable to me? What's the best way to protect the victims?
Okay, hold on. Once again. I think what's my best way out?
So traffic in the intersection is at a standstill from the collision. The motorcycle could navigate it fine. Traffic in the intersection's at a standstill. There's cars lining up behind you. Your best way out is to run on foot or maybe duck through an alleyway. As you do look around behind you, you see now as like Omina is rolling up and you're like, she came from behind me somewhere. So definitely away from that situation towards Omina or towards that direction is your best way out. If you were to just book it.
Okay, but the motorcyclist is approaching.
Correct.
I'm gonna go towards Omina.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna say that as you turn to run towards Omina, the guy in front of you arguing you is going to grab your jacket.
Okay.
Trying to hold you back to continue this conversation.
What conversation? My God, he's just yelling at me to be an asshole.
That is true.
He hasn't even presented insurance.
Nope.
I doubt he has any. Come on.
Yeah, so as you turn to leave, he says, "Hey, I'm not done talking to you," and grabs your jacket sleeve and is attempting to hold you back. Omina, you see Astrid lock eyes with you and begins to take off in your direction, but gets tripped up by the guy yelling at her?
I'm gonna try to put myself in any way between Astrid and that dude, since he's currently got a hold of her. Basically, trying to like interject myself and break that hold so she can leave.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna say you can protect someone or kick some ass.
definitely protect someone.
Okay.
Got an 8. Yes. Excellent.
So, on the success, you protect them okay, but you'll suffer some or all of the harm they were going to get. I'm gonna
Makes sense.
say that you shove the guy back, freeing Astrid, but now the guy takes a look at you and like gleans a little bit of information that you're not quite fully human.
Oh, he's a speciesist. Got it. Got it. Bigots come in all shapes and sizes.
So I'm gonna say that like because of the high tension situation, he sees that like something's off about you. He's not quite sure, but he can read that information that it's not completely hidden. That will be the harm, so to speak.
Oh, okay.
At this point, the motorcycle will now pull in, and you see the rider actually like Terminator shove the guy out of the way and moves like 2 feet off the ground, and you see him pull out his sword again. As this happens, Valraven and Thomas are running up, and just at a couple, I think you can see in the distance, like maybe about 100, 150 feet or so, you see some dude get thrown off his feet, and you can see there's some type of commotion in an intersection.
So we're starting to see what's going on now, right?
Yeah, you're starting to run into view, so like through the next circle of people doing stuff, you'll probably be able to interact with it. Or more, who knows?
From here, can I go ahead and read a bad situation?
Yeah.
All right.
I was thinking about using one of my holds for a tune-in.
I got a 4. It's gonna be experience. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You're fairly confident the best way to intervene is to go right in.
Oh yeah, that sounds great. Yep.
What is that? Read about situation.
So with yours is slightly different.
Although I still have one from the investigative mystery.
I still have one from, or 2 from my tune-in, and the one I'm looking at right now is how can I attract its attention?
Oh, yes.
What was your previous question, Valraven? Or did you not use it yet?
I think it was the what can hurt it. Was my previous question.
Yeah, so that would be your ongoing, so it doesn't add to that role, so to speak. How can I attract its attention? Let's see. You know what the creature is. You know where it is. You know that it's looking for the bird. So if you had the bird, that would work. If you were able to damage it.
I was gonna say, am I within any range to use magic on it?
Possibly. Distracting its attention would definitely be causing it harm.
I could hex it.
Or putting some type of thing it desires in front of it. Hex, huh? What does hex do?
When you cast a spell with use magic, as well as normal effects you may pick from the following. It's basically use magic.
Contracts a disease, immediately suffers harm, breaks something precious or important. What are you wanting to use magic for in this situation?
Oh, let me. No, I never did look at.
So with use magic, you can,
There it is.
yeah, inflict harm, enchant weapons, all that stuff.
I was just gonna go with. Oh, there's some good uses in there. Well, so you're thinking of just straight up inflicting harm, or I could trap a specific person, minion, or monster.
Okay.
That would have an interesting effect.
Mm-hmm.
Is he on the motorcycle right now still?
No, he's shoved a guy off. I guess.
Shove the guy in.
So, what would you like to do with the use magic?
I think specifically, trap him with
Trap
the
him.
added effect from the hex of doing 2 harm.
Okay. I'm gonna say that casting this spell is going to take.
Now, what are the rolls on that?
So there's some glitches, and there's also I may require one or more of the following, which is like materials, time, chanting, gestures.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that it's gonna take you at least 30 seconds to do that because you're not a super duper
Yeah.
spellcaster. And I'm gonna say that actually go ahead and roll to use magic.
Okie dokie. I got a 9.
Okay. So on a 9, it works imperfectly. Choose your effect and a glitch. The keeper will decide what effect the glitch has.
So are you choosing the glitch?
You pick the glitch.
Hey, I got a glitch that works perfectly with one of my dark side traits.
So you're wanting to trap something, and the glitch is what? There's weakened, short duration, take 1 harm, immediate unwelcome attention, or it has a problematic side effect.
Let's go with the fun. It has a problematic side effect.
Okay. Now I gotta look at. Okay. I might combine these then. So when you use this power, how does it manifest? Like, how do you use the power? Do you just like focus intently on them? Is this like an 11? I'm gonna stare at you, type of situation.
Yeah, this is an 11. I'm gonna stare at you type of situation.
Okay, so problematic side effect. So I'm gonna say that the problematic side effect is that it's going to use multiple dark sides.
Ooh.
So as you manifest your power, you kind of break into the spirit realm, so to speak. You break that barrier between the world and the spirit realm. You see spirits everywhere. There's people walking down the streets. They look just like people to you as they do to real world people. There's tons of spirits in front of you. It's hard to discern what's real and what's not. And after you finish the spell, you're going to drop to your knees in intense pain and be a little incapacitated. So as far as Valraven's concerned, you see Thomas kind of like focus intently and like maybe reach out a hand, as you see like blood begin to come from his like nose, and you see his knees begin to shake and wobble, and his arm also begins to shake as he's manifesting some type of power. But you see him stop, focus, and then that happens.
Yeah, but Valraven also read the situation, and the best way forward was to rush in.
There you go. All right.
Don't
So
worry.
yeah.
Thomas will be fine. He'll catch it.
We're
Oh yeah,
very
this will be
good.
fine. This will be absolutely fine. Everything's gonna be good.
These things happen.
All right. So after the rider is tossed to this guy, he comes up to Omina, and what's Omina wearing?
Just like a t-shirt and a hoodie and shorts. Like, just took off running, so it's clearly not like a special outfit or anything. Plus, she was taking the bird for a walk earlier, so like semi-athletic gear, but nothing like too unmundane.
Okay.
Real bad.
So yeah, he walks up to you. Has his sword behind him and picks you up by your clothes and raises you up into the air.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then he turns around to all the humans around him and he says, the Queen of Witches is coming, and brandishes his sword for everybody to see. And he's going to take a swipe at you.
No.
Curse you, 30-second cast time.
Shit! Oh, fuck.
Also, I feel like I just begged.
I should have used that luck point.
Like, I cast my spell and then just.
Okay, so yeah, he's going to pick you up and he's just gonna slash at you for 2 harm.
Ouch.
Wow.
Ow.
Ouch.
That hurts.
So what do? You can also feel his hands on your shirt, and you feel like your shirt and clothes are like frosting up and becoming stiff. Like even his
Makes
grip
sense.
is ice.
Ew. Well, I mean, if I'm that close, is he wearing armor?
No, he is wearing biker leathers. This is his modern day approximation of what he would look like.
He literally looks like.
So I'm literally at arm's length away.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm real close with him. I'm gonna try to bite him right in his neck. Like, right in an exposed part. I imagine that there's not a whole lot of leather since I'm right there.
Yeah.
So I guess this...
Gonna kick some ass?
Yeah, I guess. We'll find out. I'm...
Chew bubblegum, and Amin is all out of gum.
Yeah.
I mean, it ran out of jelly beans.
So what are your weapons, just for fun?
Oh, I have natural weapons.
Yeah.
So I have teeth and claws.
Okay.
Yeah, teeth are real deadly. So unfortunately, I do have -1 tough.
Okay.
Because I'm a little fluff ball. But I did roll a 9.
Okay. So 9 is just what you inflict damage on each other, I think.
On a 7+, you and whatever you're fighting inflict harm on each other.
Okay.
Yeah. How much harm can I take before I die?
That's an excellent question.
1, 2, 3, 7.
But
And I've taken 2.
and what's the thing you took from the Chosen?
Oh, resilience. So
Your wounds
My
count as-
wounds minus 1 harm less for the purpose of your harm moves.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. So you're biting his neck,
Yes.
and I'm gonna say that after you like land the bite, he's able to still keep the grip on you, but then kind of just smash you into Astrid's car that's still there.
Oh no, your car.
Ooh.
No,
Uh,
Amina. I
and
think I'm more worried about Amina than I am the car.
let's. Where's my table? So yeah, he's going to smash you into the car for 1 harm, which will make you a little bit dizzier to give you like
Yeah.
a -1 forward on something.
Cool. Since I bit him, he takes 3 harm.
Uh,
So
even though he did smash you, that was like a significant bite. He is now drenched in blood, and it's like glistening down the rest of his shirt and his clothes.
yeah. Look, I know how to bite someone. Let the implications run wild.
Astrid, what are you doing?
Okay.
Well, I see this jerk smash my ex into a car, and I'm not too happy. I am none too happy. So, whatever fear I felt, I think, I've also been pretty angry too, and I'm gonna channel that anger to rush this guy to try to knock him down. So,
All right.
so you have this slight 20 early 20 something woman just trying to like slam into this big hulking thing. This is gonna be fun.
Is this an attempt to kick some ass, or are you trying to help?
Because
Mm,
you know Amina's there. You know the others aren't far behind either.
yeah, I think this is like as angry as I am, because Amina's already been smashed into the car, so I think this is definitely kick some ass.
And hit with
Yep,
a sword.
go for it.
Don't forget the sword, everybody.
Yeah, you got hit with the sword too. So I'm going to
Blast
try,
him,
like, I
Prince.
know it's like pointless, but I'm gonna try to tackle this guy.
Yeah. So
Oh my god,
kick,
this is not gonna be
There's
good.
always a chance.
kick some ass.
So I have a -1 to tough, and I rolled a 7 on the die, -1. That's gonna be 6. And you know what? Ugh, should I use luck for this?
So on a miss,
You know
you get your ass kicked instead.
You know what? You have taken. You know what? I'm gonna use luck, not to change the roll, but to do the other thing, which is change a wound you have taken to 0 harm, no matter how bad it was.
So you're going to ineffectually tackle him,
I'm
But-
gonna try.
but take no damage as a repercussion.
You weren't putting your all into it.
I was
You
putting
held
mine into
back.
it.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
like you've seen people in football games like tackle
Mhm.
somebody, and you just kind of like shoulder charge into him,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of like knocks him off balance just a little bit, but then he
Mhm.
picks you up and tosses
Yeah.
you, and you fall into his motorcycle, which falls over,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't harm you. You could have landed on the ground, another car, a lot of other things, but
Okay. So whenever I mark a point of luck, the Pararomantic has this thing where I also have to mark one off on my relationship status box,
Okay.
and the keeper will bring Fate of Your Love into play. I mean, I don't know like how you can do that, but
However you want to do that.
yeah. I mean, I
Okay.
kind of think flavor-wise this is perfect. Like I'm trying to save my ex.
And then your current love interest
pops up out of nowhere like.
It's like,
Valkyrie.
the
Oh.
hell?
Nightmare,
Ooh.
nightmare fuel there.
This would be a good time for your current
plot
beau to
thickens.
meet your friends.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
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 Completely by accident.
This
Yeah.
would be great.
While one's
So yeah.
mildly incapacitated on your car, Valraven's currently sprinting in your direction. I'm
See reverse. Okay.
Yeah, I just
Maybe
don't see like
minimum.
marking it as a success. I just don't see how like, somebody of my stature can successfully tackle somebody that big. So it's just like I'll just choose to do 0 harm.
Okay. Yeah, so we've got Omina did something, Astra did something. So now, Valraven, you roll up as Astrid is tossed into a motorcycle. You see Omina suspended in the air, blood dripping, and you also see blood just smeared all over the front of this rider. Whether it's his blood or someone else's, you're not sure.
Yeah, this is cool. This is a great situation to be in. I'm glad I ran in here. And you know what? Going to take the gamble. Going to rush him, hopefully from behind, and yeah, I want to stab him with my little silver knife.
Okay. So kick some ass.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm trying to stab him like under the leather jacket, in his back, in a place where he can't reach and pull it out.
So I think you get, 1 forward because you're acting on prior knowledge, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Which might make this possible. Oh, that's good. I've got a 10.
A 10. You get to choose an extra effect.
Okay. Oh, I kind of want to inflict terrible harm.
So this is like a
If I
letter
can.
opener, right? I wanted to say how much
Yeah,
harm
but it is
that?
silver.
Yeah,
It is silver.
I'm taking that into account.
If I can, maybe thinking that the silver will disrupt things. If I can do what I intended and get it in a position where it can't be dislodged.
Yeah.
So hopefully it will keep doing harm.
Okay.
like right between the shoulder blades.
All right. I'm gonna say, so what? If a big ass sword is 2 harm, a silver letter opener's like, call it 1
Yes.
plus terrible harm up to 2 because it's. I think I have an idea for what the weakness is going to do.
Okay.
Yeah, so as you tackle into it, you kind of, I'm going to say that you knock into the creature. You stab the knife in, which it then just, like, unnaturally hisses. Like, when the silver hits the creature, it's like something hot touched ice.
So nice.
Yeah, and it begins to, like, steam. And I believe I still get to return the favor.
Yeah.
So it's
Pretty sure that.
it's going to spin around with its sword and hit you for 2 harm.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay. That hurt a lot. And plus that has ruined my jacket.
Sorry, guys.
That's true. So I'm gonna say this is when Thomas's spell begins to finish up, and the
After
writer,
everybody's been injured. Perfect.
yeah, the writer is going to toss Omina into Valraven and begin to make his way limping towards his motorcycle. And he gets it set back up, swings over the top of it, and begins to hit the kick pedal. but then some type of icy black smoke rings around him, and he freezes in place mid-kick.
And suffers 2 harm.
And suffers 2 harm. As you see his leg begins to go and kick the pedal as it slowly moves. It kicks the pedal, but you see his leg shatter into snow.
Ooh.
And then the motorcycle rocks back to the other side, knocking him off of it, causing his other leg to shatter into snow. And you see him laying on the ground, reaching towards his sword. Before he makes contact with the sword, the rest of his body turns to snow that then evaporates quickly, leaving a little clink sound as the silver dagger hits the floor.
Yeah, going to collect that. That was super useful.
And you just see a big wet pile of steaming water. As whatever harm inflicted by the spell seems to have finished off whatever he was, and the silver seemed to have hopefully made it permanent.
Hopefully. There's still 2 other forms. We don't know if that will come back into play, but this is a good start. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
We should also probably get out of here, or
Yeah, as you begin to turn around, you see that down one of the roadways that you didn't notice before, there are flashing red and blue lights. As you see a couple of police officers hustling their way down the street towards you.
Ooh.
I don't want to deal with that noise.
And there are witnesses.
The guy dazed on the ground begins to like look up and see that there's more people now, and he's just very confused.
Omina got tossed, right?
Yes, well, we just saved your life. You're welcome. Now we should be going.
Yeah. Omina got tossed into Valraven in an attempt to like knock him over so it could escape. But
Okay.
being held and taking damage kind of cuts off an escape.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Alright.
am I?
Omina has like landed and curled into a ball to try to stop the bleeding.
Oh no, no.
She did get hit with a pretty big fucking sword, so like she real close to becoming unstable.
I really don't want to have to explain this to the cops.
I don't
So-
either.
Okay,
But it's
so
my
I
car
think-
that's still here.
Ooh.
we can come up with a story later. After all, you were chased by someone, and we do have
True.
witnesses. So,
But I shouldn't. I
Um,
shouldn't run away from the. I shouldn't run away from the scene. That's gonna look really bad.
all right, fine. I'll help you explain this.
Hey,
Maybe
hey,
I can
Jill,
figure out something.
where am I?
You're down the street on your knees, blood coming out of your nose.
Hey, where's
And-
Thomas at?
And when you look up, you're kind of in like, you see the sky looks like a vortex, and there's like spirits flying through the air. There's spirits walking on the street, but you're just like completely in a daze between what's real and what's not. You're bleeding. You feel weak. When you look back up, Valraven's not there. You see like echoes of previous car crashes along the street. You're not sure which one is the correct one. Various police officers, whether they're real, dead, past lives of themselves, are running down the street, up and down the street. It's all
You know
very confusing.
It's like, I think Valraven's gonna be like, Astrid, can you, if you want to stay, can you take care of the police while I take care of the other 2? I really don't like the way either of them are looking right now.
Yeah, just get out of here. I'll figure something. You'll be my first call if I go to jail.
So as you're having this conversation, you hear the footsteps get closer, and you notice that the police officers have their guns raised, pointed at you, telling you to like stay on the ground, put your hands out to the sides. as they have now closed the distance between the two of you.
Yeah, never mind.
All right, I'm complying with the police.
Yeah, it's just like Valraven has like the letter opener, like between two fingers, and just like hands up, and it's just like,
Yeah,
if you want me to drop it, I can, but I'd want it back.
yeah, they're gonna scream at you to drop weapons, to, you know.
Yeah, Valraven drops it with a plink.
Joel,
Hmm.
I rolled to act under pressure to turn back into a house cat.
Okay.
I rolled a 9.
Okay.
So
A price to pay. Worst outcome. I'm gonna say either the transformation complicates your wounds and causes you to take an additional harm, or you're going to reveal even more information about some non-human creature running around the city. Like, people are going to see you transform. So they either see you transform, you can take an extra point of damage, or you can let them take a pot shot at you as you run away.
that option. Like the chance to not take more harm and run away.
But in that runaway, there's a possibility of taking more harm.
Yeah, but it's either immediately do it and suffer harm and become unstable, or maybe get away and not be considered I don't know, a science experiment or something.
Well, just because I don't know what guns do.
For one thing, you'd have to think about how credible those rumors would be, because people talking about what happened here would also talk about the person turning into snow. And somebody turned into a cat, and they're like, yeah, sure, that really happened.
Mass hallucination. There was a gas leak somewhere or something.
Okay, hang on. Let's settle this the right way. Okay, so I successfully transform and take 1 harm.
Okay.
So that means I'm currently unstable.
But
I've taken 4 harm.
you escape successfully.
Yeah, but unless I get immediate help, I'll die soon.
So you run past the street down an alleyway, and you turn around to see another figure in a long trench coat jacket run up on your friends, who are all face down in the ground. And you see one of them retrieve a badge from inside of their coat and shows it to the officers and says, I'm Detective Jess.
I know what's happening. Yes.
Oh snap!
As you see her reveal her
This is
badge, she mentions to the rest of the officers, I saw what went down. I'll help you take them in. And so
Oh no.
The officers get you handcuffed next to the cars. They get some ambulatory assistance to at least stabilize so you're not bleeding all over the place. But their intention is to book you and take you to the station. To which Astrid, you catch eyesight of Jess, and she kind of like gives you a look of like, I'll get this figured out. But then that's kind of like a snap look of like, I'm at least gonna help you out, but then that's all you get.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair.
And so you get kind of like a little back and forth between the officers, like, oh, what's the FBI doing here, and all this kind of stuff. And so the officers get you patched up. I'm not sure how healing works. I think they just keep you from like taking more damage. I think
I don't
Omina.
think I We suffered any harm.
Omina needs to get medical attention or it gets worse, I think.
Yeah, but I've actually I ran away.
Yes.
So
You're not part of that group. I'm just saying in the idea of how damage works.
Yeah, I think it's 1 through 3 because you're not unstable. 1 through 3 can take actual medical attention or might just be time to rest.
So it says moderate wounds, 1 to 3 harm will improve when your hunter has a chance to rest it up or get some first aid treatment. This reduces an injury by 1 harm. So those of you who are apprehended by the police can heal 1 harm as the emergency medical staff help you out. So yeah, 4+ harm that will worsen if untreated.
Yeah, and besides a nosebleed and being all out of sorts, I actually didn't suffer any harm.
Yeah, and actually,
I-
you didn't run in as far as us, so did you get taken in?
No.
Ooh.
You're
so
the
it's just me and Val.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're in a daze on the street, not sure who you are, where you are, covered in blood.
From the nosebleed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's see. So, Thomas, what are you doing?
I guess I can attempt to read a bad situation.
That's true.
Oh my god.
To at least get myself a little more coherent, that way I can actually do something.
Oh.
Because I'm pretty sure I'm all out of sorts right now. So I'm pretty much useless at the moment unless I do a good read bad situation for
Yeah, so plus sharp.
I got an 11.
An 11. So you get a hold 3. What's your best way in? What's your best way out? Dangers you haven't noticed. Biggest threat. What's most vulnerable to me? What's the best way to protect the victims?
I will first go with, are there any dangers we haven't noticed? Just in case. Because I have 3 of these to use.
Yeah, so as far as your spirit world connection, the spirits are not there to harm you. It's simply
I'm just seeing them right now.
a sensory input. You're a little overloaded.
Yeah.
You do see was this dangers we haven't noticed, right?
Yeah.
You do see there's a woman in a white cloak kneeling down next to a puddle off in the distance, inspecting where the creature died. You saw it obliterate into steam, and there's a woman investigating it. There's police in the intersection. There's a lot of angry people. Whatever that intersection is probably your biggest threat. You don't want to be there at all.
I guess, did I happen to see old Mina take off? Well, I've got
dangers we haven't noticed. I guess, yeah, you would see that Omina is hurt and took off. So you noticed that she transformed, her wound seemed serious, and that she bolted.
I would like to, if I can, circumnavigate around the cluster of an intersection to get to where Almina is.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to act under pressure, though.
Yep. Plus cool. Oh boy. I got an 8.
An 8. Okay. So you can make your way over to where Omina is, but in your state, you're gonna bump into spirits, apologize to them, to which people in the real world are gonna think you're real fucking weird, and possibly signal over to the police that you're bumbling around, you're covered in blood. Or I'm gonna say that you're able to get up to Omina, but she's gained some distance and it would be difficult to catch up to her. I'm gonna give you those choices. That either bystanders signal to the police that you're not okay, or that you're gonna have to do a little bit more chasing to catch up.
I will go with the do a little bit more chasing because I feel like getting the police over to me is going to completely screw up that plan, anyways.
Okay. Yeah, so Omida, you, I don't know, maybe make it down the alleyway a little bit farther when you see Thomas stumble into it. He's covered in blood, looks a little bit dazed. Are you planning on leaving or addressing him?
I mean, I'm still in house cat form.
Yeah.
So I think I'm in like super light mode right now. So I'm not entirely sure that I would recognize him. Like
I'm gonna say you recognize him through your senses, but you still have to choose between like, are you gonna protect yourself or are you going to possibly head back towards the place you just left to interact with him?
Can I
Remember,
kinda...
I saved you once before.
It's true,
That's how we
yeah.
know each
Can I
other.
felt like I also don't want to go back. That seems real bad. Can I just kind of stop where I am and wait?
Yes.
Okay. And I'll like I don't know, like see that he's gotten a line on me and then kind of try to hide behind a trash can in the alley or something.
Yeah.
That nobody else sees.
And to use one of my other read that situation holds.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best way to protect the victims? AKA, in this case, Omina.
I'll actually give you a little more. You see Valraven and Astrid being cuffed, picked up by police. But you see someone in a trench coat using some type of glamour, and you're not sure who that is. So you're not sure if it's good or it's...
Any Astrid body language or Valraven body language at all?
You notice there's like a little bit of a longer, lingering stare between the glamored person and Astrid. Like maybe they know each other, and so that's good enough for you to kind of ignore that.
Yep.
Omina, you see, is limping and not using a leg. Clearly, this creature needs medical attention. Getting the two of you out of here and seeking help would be your best course of action.
Best bet would be to probably to pick Omina up and get her out of there with some nice pets because she's probably freaking out.
Kitty, kitty.
So yeah, that's up.
Take her to a doctor.
Yeah. So Thomas kind of walks over and does the like, pss, 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 like get your attention. And then he looks at you and says, "Do you need a doctor or a vet?" Because I caught that bit. I don't know if the two of you did.
Oh, that's so great, though.
Bring a little bit of humor into a bad situation.
Yeah, right.
But also expecting her to answer.
Which is great because
Yeah,
that plays into your other dark thing. A lot of bad shit just happened. Thomas seems to be in a great mood.
Yes, because I have mood swings as well, my dark things.
Oh God.
Yeah. So my dark sides are pain, mood swings, and hallucinations.
Damn. Okay.
We've covered all 3 today.
We're doing so well.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah. Omina just passes out. Like she's still a cat, but she just passes out, so you don't actually get an answer. Now you get to find out and whether or not you were right or wrong when she wakes up.
You pick up the cat passes out, and you're just like, you ask yourself, do I need a vet or a doctor?
Well,
You turn to look
Taking
over your
it, yeah.
shoulder, and
Or do
there's
you just head back to the?
there's like 5 or 6 spirits standing in a circle watching you, and one's like, I think you need a doctor. The other one's like, I think you need a vet. The other one's like, what are you guys talking about? So you
still
have
got one more hold for my read a bad situation. I guess what's the best way out will work, because regardless,
that's an excellent usage because I was going to give you a hard time to discern where you're going. I'm going to say this will like counteract the hallucinations. So like the best way out is to get away from the crime scene, take stock of where you are, give yourself a little bit of time, and then locate the nearest medical center.
Emergency vet.
Yeah, I'm gonna err on the
I'm gonna go
side
with-
and just say
I'm gonna
vet.
go with the vet for this one because she's still in cat form.
Yeah.
And
We'll see how that works out.
It'll look really weird if I take a cat to a hospital.
That bill is gonna suck.
Yeah. Yeah, so Thomas wanders off in the direction of an emergency vet, and we find Valraven and Astrid patched up in the back of a police cruiser, driven by an officer, and I guess not detective, it would be secret agent.
Maybe field agent.
Yeah, field agent Jess is in the passenger seat.
Okay, because I feel like secret agent is just like
Special agent, that's what I'm looking for.
special agent.
Special
Okay.
agent.
Special
I
agent.
feel like if you're
So she's in the passenger seat. You can't catch a glance of her out of like any of the mirrors. She just seems to be focusing straight ahead. And after a while, you're taken to a police station, escorted into a cell. Of course, I've never been incarcerated, but I assume they hit you with the classic fingerprints, pictures,
Yep.
Mugshots, yeah.
toss
Yep.
you in the cell. And
Well, not so much. Well, I guess it's dependent
Probably
on what
separate
they're bringing
cells.
you in for. If it's like a public lockup, since you're both the same crime scene, they might put you in the same holding cell.
Okay, I didn't know if they like separated them. Like,
It depends. I mean, it's probably pretty obvious you're not fighting each other, so they wouldn't have any reason to really separate you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like Vel at this point just kind of is relaxing in the cell and is just like, so should I break us out of here or do we play this out?
well, that depends. Do you want to meet my girlfriend?
Oh, you're finally going to introduce us.
That's a yes.
This is the, I guess. I mean, unless you don't want that awkward encounter. And unfortunately, they do have our mugshots, our fingerprints, and
Considering,
cameras. I don't think we can get out of this without making it even more difficult for us.
Well, the fingerprints and cameras and such can always be dealt with later.
Underground
Later.
connections.
Later.
Let me guess, you have your ways.
Oh, yes.
so after a bit of deliberation, and maybe a couple of hours go by, eventually one of the officers comes to retrieve Astrid to bring you into
Interrogation.
the classic interrogation room. They're kind enough to give you a cup of coffee, and after a while, the door opens and Jess sits across from you at the table and says, "This isn't how I imagined meeting your friends." And that's where we're going to pick up next time.
Dang.
First time she meets Valraven is while he's being arrested. This is gonna be great.
No, this is not gonna be good.
No, this is gonna be awful, and it's gonna be great.
This
I
is
mean, you can-
absolutely the perfect
So
way to do
you do
this.
have the opportunity. I will say you do have the opportunity to break yourself out now that I'm not there.
That is true.
That's
Yeah, so you can ditch me.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
But
a
then
lot of...
you did dangle the meeting of your girlfriend, and his
I
curiosity
did.
is piqued.
Let's see.
I'm
Curiosity is an all-time high.
really mad that Omina's not here for this.
I'm really mad at myself that technically all of this is my fault. Should have used that luck point.
You know,
No, but this turned out so great.
what's important is it became interesting. Now I would hate to ignore the little end of session stuff here, so we'll do that really quickly. So end of session experience. Did they conclude the current mystery?
No.
No.
Did they save someone from certain death or worse?
Yes.
Yes, that was me.
And
Do I-
Omina.
And Omina.
And Omina. Yeah, and Omina.
Did
So-
Technically, we saved that Chicagoan too.
Yeah. I don't think
Yeah,
he
but
cares
we're not
though.
super.
did we learn
So-
something new and important about the world?
Yeah, we learned not to deal with Baba Yaga, and yet here we are dealing with Baba Yaga.
We also learned that Baba Yaga's house has been stolen.
Oh yeah,
And-
that's
and
also
her-
a thing.
And
And
her
her-
pets and
And her pets,
Power-
and her powers,
are waning.
and her favors.
Yeah,
And
so
we know for sure.
like it's a yes.
And we know for sure that Silver works on the writer.
Yes, yes.
Did we learn something new and important about one of the hunters? I could kind of say yes. In the sense that Thomas can see through glamour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
We could also say, I mean, what, Valraven had more connections.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to learn something.
Raven's going to learn about
Oh yeah.
Jess.
Yeah.
I think we'll save that for next time.
Yeah,
but,
that's
So-
what we say for next time.
but
That
that'll
still,
be great.
that still counts as something new and important. Is that
Oh, sure.
Astrid's like, BT Dubs, this is Special Agent Girlfriend.
Special Agent Gold.
Girlfriend, yes.
Not Dickens.
So on 3 to 4 yeses, you get 2 XP,
Yeah.
Yay.
and I think as our final bit of, I think, we'll save that for next time. I think
We'll
it
be
was.
saving the
I've got some other fun cutscene nugget, but I think I'll save that for next time.
Okay.
Aw, man. Okay.
So I gained a level.
Nice.
I need to figure out what I'm going to do with that.
Dang.
Alex, did you ever figure
got
out what
3
you
of-
gained from that first level?
Yeah, that's why I have 3 weird now instead of 2.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
I feel like you definitely manifested an increased amount of weird this session.
Yep.
Between
Like,
all
eh.
the stuff that I did character-wise and my thing lighting up randomly.
Yeah, there's
yeah,
there's,
it's
a,
pretty good.
there's another thing under use magic that just says what, do something outside of human
Yeah.
ability or something, so you can use magic really weirdly. But yeah, I think that's good enough, and we're gonna call it here, and then maybe chat about stuff later. But
Cool.
I can't wait to upload this to YouTube and not edit it. It'll be great.
Yay!
Yeah.
Can't wait! Can't wait to see the comment section.
I'm big popular. That's how it works.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the
Yeah.
comment. Is that guy just laying in bed?
Oh,
Living his best
Because then
life.
it's gonna be Joel going through being like, yes.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
So
love it.
I'll see YouTube people later.